Friday Night Baseball on the USPBL Network is brought to you by Magna. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Brendan Shabat. That's Alex Johnson. Getting you ready for another Friday night matchup. We've got some fireworks after the game, Alex. Hopefully we have some fireworks during the game. It's been a fun couple weeks of USPBL baseball in the past couple weeks. Tonight, we've got the Hoppers and the Mammoths. The Mammoths, the hottest team in the league. The Hoppers have picked up a couple of wins, although they come off a loss yesterday. The main thing, first things first, let's avoid the rain. There's been a little bit in the forecast tonight. Hopefully we can avoid it, get this game in. It's hot today, hot right now. Got to stay out of the wet stuff.
Yeah, Brendan, coming in, it's 92 degrees right now. It's been cloudy, for the most of the day here so far. The sun's trying to peek in here. So hopefully it could break out of the clouds so the fireworks can come out, at the end of the game here tonight. And it's going to be a good one here today. The Mammoths coming in, winning 6 in a row. They're the hottest team right now in the second half of this USPBL season. For the Mammoths, and then for the Hoppers, a team lost last night and left 5 runs in the first inning. Trying to bounce back here today on this back-to-back for them here today.
Yeah, Mammoths coming in with 6 straight wins. The Hoppers have won 3 of their last 4 when you add in the loss last night, 7-3 to the Unicorns right here on the USPBL Network. We talked to Taylor Jellikowski just after the All-Star break a couple weeks ago, and he said he was frustrated with his team and kind of, push came to shove for his team, and he said, I'm sick of being the best team on paper and not the best team in the standings. Well, now they are the best team in the standings, 16-12. They're a game ahead of first place, and they've had a really good season so far. Their offense has turned it around, and namely, too, their pitching. The bullpen has progressed really well. Jelly's added some good arms in the back end of that bullpen. Overall, they're just a sound team in the last couple games.
Yeah, Taylor Jellikowski knows what he's doing. He wants to be able to put his team in the right direction, and he's done so. Ever since the second half, and it shows that here with the pitching. We went on a stretch where they allowed 25 innings while not allowing a single run, which is incredible here in the USPBL. They've gotten some key bats. Guys like Fox Liam has come in, and some of the pitching as well, Chase Gearing. Just to name some of the few players that have been really a key impact on both sides of the ball, and it's been timely hitting and timely pitching. It's been the name of the game for the Mammoths.
Fox Liam was a name that when he got to the league, we knew could possibly bring some power with him coming out of Missouri. In less than 15 games, he's already got 3 home runs to lead the Mammoths. He's been really good this year.
Yeah, he's been doing really well. Coming in and filling in the shoes of another powerful guy that the Mammoths lost. Got signed by the Twins, Francis Florentino, who was one of the top guys in the league. But Fox Liam has come in and filling that power shoe that what Florentino had. But he's coming in really nicely here, and I'm looking forward to what he does here tonight.
For the Hoppers, the offense has been benefited by an increased spurt lately, but they still have one of the best pitching staffs in the league all around. A lot of guys who have been shut down all year long, including the starter tonight, Ryan Carolden, who's done a fantastic job.
Yeah, I've talked with Coach Ryan Cockey about him. He's a guy that has been doing really well as of late. Looking to find his rhythm, find his groove here tonight. A chance to get back in the swing of things and get back in the win column for the Hoppers after their 3-game winning streak got snapped here last night. So we're going to see what he can do here on the mound. He's a very experienced guy and has to bring a lot to the table with his arsenal, with his pitches. So we're going to see what he does here and how he's going to shut down this hot Mammoth squad here, Brendan.
And for Carolden, the last 3 starts have been interesting. The 2 most previous ones were tough, where he just really didn't have some of the same stuff, but the most recent one was really good. 5 innings of just 1-run baseball for Ryan, really good stuff. He goes against Nathan Witt tonight on the other side for the Mammoths, who will probably pitch 1 to 2 innings as the starter for the Mammoths, and then we'll get to the bullpen on a bullpen day for Taylor Jellikowski, 2 guys who have just been good this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I talked with Justin Karn about Nathan Witt and why only going 1 or 2 innings here tonight, but he likes that. Witt found his rhythm of not be able to come in on call, just come in like an in-game situation. Getting his start here, pitching 1 to 2 innings right off the get-go. So that's been something he's been comfortable with, and that's something he's been really doing so here. He's able to keep hitters off balance with his pitches and attack the strike zone really well.
2 good pitchers, 2 good lineups, 2 good teams. Hopefully we've got a good game for you. We've got the starting lineups on the other side of the break here on the USPBL Network.
There are many things you can rely on in this world, like a sunny day brightening your mood, your mom baking the world's best apple pie, and never a dull moment in running your business. And when it comes to time-consuming HR tasks, you can rely on Tryon. Tryon can handle payroll and taxes, employee benefits, and more, so you can stay focused on attracting and retaining the best talent. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Welcome back to Jimmy John's Field Friday Night Spectacular. Our fireworks after the game is brought to you always by Magna here on the USPBL Network. Let's take a look at our other presenting sponsors today for this broadcast. It's Ascension, Belfour Property Restoration, Budweiser, Dave & Buster's, DTE Energy, Fifth Third Bank, Jarbcom, Jimmy John's, Macomb Community College, McLaren Macomb, McQuaid Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Refrigeration, Metro Detroit Chevy Dealers, Pepsi, Scott's, and United Wholesale Mortgage. We thank all of our proud sponsors for everything they do for the USPBL. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups between the Westside Woolly Mammoths and the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. The Woolly Mammoths 16-12 on the season, currently hot on a 6-game win streak. The Hoppers have won 3 of their last 4, but they lost yesterday to the Unicorns 7-3. They sit at 13-15 for the Hoppers tonight. Starting off at second base and leading off in the lineup is Luis Acevedo, batting second, fresh off of the injury list. Noah Marcoux, this is just his second game back, coming back from a hamstring, still not quite ready to play in the field defensively, so he will be the designated hitter hitting in the 2 spot tonight. Joe Burke leads the Hoppers in home runs. He's got 4 bombs on the season now, hitting right around the 300 mark. He'll bat third and play at first base. Bryant Schellenbarger is out in right field, 3 home runs and 15 RBIs to his name. He's been one of the MVP candidates of the season for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. He's out in right, and he will bat cleanup. Joey Califoot, a newcomer to the league this season, a lefty bat in the middle of Ryan Kotke's order, will bat fifth and play in left field, right ahead of Anthony Flores in the lineup, who will be in center field defensively. Alex Pupp is down batting 7th. He'll be the shortstop tonight for the Hoppers. Chandler Dunn has the hot corner duties defensively. He's at third base, and he will bat 8th. And rounding out the 9 in the lineup is Whit Hughes, the catcher, who has the duties behind the dish. They're led on the mound by their ace this season, Ryan Carolden, who's had a fantastic year, and he will go against the first place Westside Woolly Mammoths, 16-12 on the season. They're led by Ward Hacklin, who's the designated hitter at the top of the order tonight for the Mammoths. Don't often see the DH leading off, but that's how Taylor Jellikowski wants his squad. He knows Ward Hacklin can bat pretty much anywhere in the lineup, and will give him a good at-bat. So Ward will lead things off. Burl Dixon, as always, is in the 2-hole, and as always is in center field. One of the best players in the league, leading the Mammoths in almost every offensive category. Livingston Morris is the first baseman tonight for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. He'll bat third. Fox Liam is in left field. He's showcased a lot of power lately. 3 home runs for him on the season. He'll bat cleanup. Usually plays first base. Morris is usually in the outfield. A little switch tonight for Taylor Jellikowski and his squad. A newcomer, Patrick Mills, playing in just his 2nd game in the league. He'll be in right field and will bat 5th. Dre Williams Nelson, he's down there and will bat 6th and play at second base defensively. Highlight his name when they are in the field as one of the best defenders in the league, likely to make some web gems tonight. Alex Garbasic bats behind him and will be across the diamond defensively. He's at third base and will bat 7th. Batting 8th is the catcher Scott Combs, who has the duties behind the dish, starting for the Mammoths tonight. And batting 9th is the shortstop Colby Seltzer. Nathan Witt will be the starter. Per usual with Witt, it is likely only 1 or 2 innings, and then they will go to the bullpen. And Alex, for Nathan Witt and the Westside Woolly Mammoths, that just seems to be the recipe for success. It's not what you would expect Taylor Jellikowski and the Mammoths, how you would expect them to use Witt necessarily, a guy who can come out throwing 95, 96, even 97, just throws absolute gas. But Doesn't really do well coming out of the bullpen and in a maybe stressful situation, and doesn't do well with the long-winded starts. So it's essentially spot starts here and there. He's going to get his innings. It's usually 1 or 2 innings per start, but this season he's racked up almost 15 innings, and he'll get likely 1 or 2 tonight.
Yeah, we're going to see what Nathan Wood does. I had a chance to talk with him before the game, and kind of like what he wants to do. Just come not be all stressed out, coming out of the bullpen in a situation with runners on or things along those lines. So just getting the start right away, coming out an inning or 2, just to feel relaxed, feel composed. That's something he's been comfortable with, and something I talked with assistant manager Justin Karn about before the game as well. Having him start right at the game in the first 2 innings, just to not let him feel under pressure, just to get composed. And it's been a recipe for success for them. They'll see the same thing here tonight.
And I think that speaks to this league, and in particular, Taylor Jellikowski and his Mammoth squad. You mentioned Witt's just not comfortable in those other situations. So they're going to put him in a situation he's comfortable in. They're not going to force him to be a starter or be a reliever or be a closer. They're not going to force him in a spot that they think he should be. They're not going to box him in. They're going to let him do whatever he's comfortable with and whatever leads to success.
Yeah, you got to absolutely have to do that in this league. And what guys want to do here is try to get to the next level, and they want to be able to see what's comfortable for them. And in this situation, it was coming out right away, throwing the first 2 innings, something that Witt is in a strong suit for. They're going to go and roll with, and that's been the key thing so far for them, and they're going to keep it up here. What Coach Jellikowski is doing here tonight, throwing Witt here as the starter, even though going, like I said, a couple of innings, then relying on his bullpen to back him up.
The Mammoths starting lineup being announced right now, and it's a starting lineup that has been very good lately, so much that they are first in the standings here in the USPBL. Let's take a look at the rest of them, and we mentioned that the Mammoths are first because they have rattled off 6 straight wins. They were 2 games below 500 if you're good at math. Now 16-12 on the year. They sit a game ahead of the Unicorns, 14-12. The Hoppers 13-15, and the Beavers 12-16 on the season. The top 3 teams have a positive run differential. The Beavers have a -1, and I think that's interesting to note that the Mammoths have a positive run differential this season, and they were involved in that 20-2 game earlier in the year with the Hoppers. Still pretty impressive what they've done.
Yeah, it's a kind of a little of a standout, but you got to give credit to Coach Jellikowski and the rest of the team. The Mammoths have been strong, 6-1 in the second half on the season. Their offense has been their strong suit so far. A lot of key bats on the lineup, and like in Burl Dixon and some of the other guys we'll see here tonight. So it's going to be a good one here, and see if the Mammoths can keep this up.
Mammoths and Hoppers coming up in just a few moments right here on the USPBL Network. We'll step aside for the national anthem and be right back with first pitch here on the USPBL Network.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Jimmy John's Field is the perfect venue for birthday parties, summer picnics, company outings, and provides the best entertainment in Metro Detroit with great baseball all summer long. Spend your summer nights under the lights at Jimmy John's Field in historic downtown Utica.
Back here in the USPBL Network, Nathan Witt getting the start for the Westside Woolly Mammoths. It'll be Nathan Witt versus Ryan Corraldon tonight. And with that, let's take a look at our Ascension pitcher comparison to see how these two match up. Both with 2 wins on the season, both with an ERA below 5. Nathan Witt has really brought his down slowly over the course of the season. He had a double-digit ERA at one point, got rocked in one of his first innings when he got here, has really brought that down. Corraldon leads the Hoppers, is tied for the lead with them with Luke Drummond with 32 1/3 innings. 21 hits for Corraldon, 11 for Witt. 25 strikeouts for Ryan Corraldon, 12 for Witt, 11 walks and 7 walks respectively for both of them. Two guys who have been good, who have good numbers set in the right directions and look like they can have good days on the mound.
Yeah, absolutely. They've gone through a long season and they're trying to find their groove, and they'll just into the part of the season here, Brendan, getting down here at end of July, now getting into early August. Both of these guys have found their rhythm. It's going to be interesting here tonight, especially here with Nathan Witt. Been doing really well so far, and as well as Ryan Corraldon. In his last few outings, he's been doing really well. Went 5 innings a week ago against the Beavers and had a good solid start. So it's going to be an interesting pitching matchup I see here tonight.
Let's take a look at the defense behind Nathan Witt, brought to you by 3-Dimensional Services. As always, we gave you the starting lineups. Let's see how they shape out in the field. Well, there's the lineup again. So it's going to be Fox Liam in left, Burl Dixon in center, and Patrick Mills, the newcomer, out in right field. Then at third base is Alex Garbasic. On the corner on the 3-Dimensional Services lineup is Livingston Morris. Colby Seltzer and Dre Williams-Nelson are the double play combination up the middle. And then Scott Combs rounds out the battery with Nathan Witt tonight. First batter, Luis Acevedo, the second baseman for the Hoppers. And first pitch misses high for ball 1, 93 on the gun. And we're underway here from downtown Utica. Happy that you could join us. Happy Friday night, everybody. I know it's been a long work week for some of you. Hope you can relax with some USPBL baseball. A lot of fun baseball this weekend. A lot of good baseball here in the state of Michigan. Shohei Ohtani was in town yesterday against the Detroit Tigers. That was very good stuff that we saw from Ohtani.
Yeah, phenomenal game from him yesterday. The complete game shutout and 2 home runs, and such a generational player. And I think a lot of fans had a chance to see him down there at Comerica Park yesterday. And
2-2 on Acevedo. Nathan Witt, a 4.4 ERA this season. We mentioned 14 1/3 innings. Some have been in relief, a couple of spot starts here and there. The 2-2, swing and a miss. Got him with the cutter away, and that's the first strikeout of the day and the first out of the day for Nathan Witt and the Mammoths.
Yeah, that's sort of his specialty pitches you'll see here tonight, Brendan, from Nathan Witt. He goes a lot with his 2-seam fastball and his cutter 95% of the time. He chased him away. Acevedo went after it and got him out of his comfort zone there and gets the first guy retired.
We should mention for Witt, too, a guy who makes these spot starts occasionally, Noah Marcoux, deep to right field, way back, forget about it. Didn't even get a chance to get settled in, and it's 1-0 Hoppers. Marcoux with a bomb, his first of the year.
And that was just a no-doubter off the swing of the bat. He knew it was gone. Right when he heard the crack at it there, Brendan just demolished that one.
A near 400-foot bomb for his first of the season. You knew it was a matter of time. We've talked about Noah Marcoux all year long. One of the best hitters in the Hoppers lineup, has just been dealing with the injury bug. Well, Alex, I think the hamstring's okay.
Yeah, he's happy to be back. He's been a catalyst, for Coach Kotke's team and someone they rely on here in that part of the lineup, and something we talked about with him earlier today, and having him back and well, the Hoppers were on that 3-game winning streak and then lost yesterday. But having a bat like Marcoux back is going to be very crucial for the Hoppers here in this final month of the season. Trying to get back above 500 into that first place spot.
The 0-1 to Burke is a slider outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Marcoux just got a fastball in and absolutely turned on it. And that's got to lead to a little bit of hesitation for Nathan Witt on the mound. Relies on that heavy fastball so much. Both lefties and righties. Marcoux, obviously the lefty, hitting the home run to right field. Hit Witt about the same. The opponent average for him is 204. Both lefties and righties right around the Mendoza line. The 2-1. Burke fouls it back. The fastball up.
And now it's just how do you respond from that pitch off of Marcoux, and just kind of one mistake, just kind of move on to the next one. Can't let that one pitch get after you, and something you have to do is move on, but just shake that off. And
2-2. That was the cutter chopped right off of Combs, so Burke stays alive. That's the interesting thing about Witt, too, is it's a 2-seam fastball that's the heater that can get up to 95, 96. So it's really a sinker that has natural arm side movement into a righty and away from a lefty. He uses it as a weapon against both, but the interesting thing is he likes to use it away from lefties, and on that Marcoux home run, it was busted inside.
Yeah, just wants to be able to keep hitters off balance, but
and time called just before Witt started his delivery, but he didn't start it in time. That's a pitch clock violation. Makes it a full count now.
Yeah. But just for Witt, he likes that 2-seam fastball. It's his heater. And I'm try to keep hitters away from it, but Marcoux was able to get it off. And
3-2. A little bouncer to shortstop, fielded by Seltzer. Throw over to first. Nice play by Colby Seltzer. That's a tough bouncing ball that can ricochet in some weird spots, and he's able to make the play for the second out.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a funny hop into his glove, but he knew he had time, didn't rush anything, just makes the play over to Morris over at first, and a good recovery there.
It's a good at bat by Burke, though. Worked 6 pitches out of Witt. It's actually a 7-pitch count, but obviously the pitch clock violation. Didn't throw one. Schellenbarger fouls it directly up and over the seats. No balls and a strike on Bryant.
Schellenbarger was a bright spot, Brendan, last night in the loss of the Beavers. Did have a double and an RBI in 3 at-bats.
He's been playing really well lately in that left-handed batter's box for the Hoppers. Swings on top of the slider there. Good pitch from Witt. Get ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. That's why we said Schellenbarger could arguably be the MVP. Leads the Hoppers this season in slugging, .455 on the season. This one's hard hit into the gap, tailing towards Dixon, who extends the glove to make a grab. That's a good swing by Schellenbarger. Just had the wrong spin as it curled back towards Burl Dixon in center field. The Hoppers get a run thanks to Noah Marcoux in his first home run of the season. They lead it 1-0 after the top of the first here on the US PBL Network.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
One nothing Hoppers after just the top half of the inning. Noah Marcoux with an early run on the board for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers, and for his starting pitcher, Ryan Corraldon, who's now working with a 1-run lead. Let's check the defense behind Corraldon and how they shape up on the diamond. It's Joey Califoot in left, Anthony Flores in center, Bryant Schellenbarger in right, Joe Burke at first base, Chandler Dunn at third, Alex Pupp at short, Luis Acevedo at second, and then Whit Hughes is the catcher, rounding out the battery for Ryan Corraldon, who comes in with a 3.34 ERA. All 7 of his appearances have been starts this season, has not come out of the bullpen at all, and rightfully so. He's been the ace for the Hoppers all year long. 11 walks to 25 strikeouts. Opponents are hitting just 181 against Corraldon this season.
Yeah, he's been the bright spot here. He's been the ace for Coach Kotke's squad, and rightfully so. At the ERA just a little bit above 3, but he's been doing really well, trying to keep his command, and he's been good over his last few starts. Last week he went 5 innings, 1 hit, allowed only 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts, and 18 batters faced. That was on Friday the 21st against the Unicorns, so that was last week. So it's a guy looking to try to quiet this Mammoths lineup here tonight, who's been hot, coming in 6 in a row and has been really taking over the momentum swing here in the USPBL season. But the Hoppers trying to get back on track after that tough loss last night against the Unicorns. So everyone's right there neck and neck here, entering the final month of the season, and every game counts here from this point on. So
first pitch to Ward Hacklin, leading things off. Check swing didn't go, but it's a strike anyways. Fastball in at 91 for strike 1.
Last night for the Hoppers, they allowed 5 runs in the first inning. So we'll see how it changes here tonight.
Hacklin swings at the off speed, no balls and 2 strikes. It's a 4-seam fastball, curveball, and changeup. It's mainly fastball, curveball for Corraldon, and there's the curveball for strike 3. Quickly 3 pitches and 1 out as Hacklin is down on strikes.
Good work by Corraldon. Got him to tip it into the glove and trying to set the tone here. Last night was just not good from the start, and it was tough to get out of that 5-0 hole. But getting that home run to start the game and finding their groove here.
Dixon shows bunt, pulls it back, fastball rifled in for a strike. Dixon, we mentioned the categories that he leads the Mammoths in. It's almost all of them. Games played and started. Average, on base, OPS, RBIs, walks, and stolen bases. And is arguably their best defender in the field out in center.
This is an all-around player. The only guy to play in every game for the Mammoths so far this season. Coming in with that 345 average, and has done really well against the Hoppers too, Brendan, this season.
Dixon fouls it back.
6 for 23 this season against the Hoppers, and that's really good for him, and 3 extra base hits.
0-2 inside, misses. They tried to get him to chase the changeup in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Talking to Whit Hughes about Burl Dixon. Hughes behind the dish right now, catching and calling the pitches. How you get this guy out. He said he is just one of the toughest outs in the league. All you got to do is that. Throw him a curveball, and you'll get back-to-back strikeouts to start the game for Ryan Corraldon.
Yeah, good work there by Corraldon, but that curveball just chasing it in, forcing Dixon to swing at it, and Dixon with that 345 average. He's a tough guy, to get out. It's his 20th strikeout on the season for Dixon, but you don't see a lot of guys with that high average strike out a lot. And And able to get a guy like him, sending him down is really crucial. And
gets ahead of Livingston Morris with the fastball. No balls and a strike. Corlden working well early. Curveball just missing outside. 1-1. Morris on the season. Still waiting to show that power. 212 average, 273 slug, no home runs. I think this is looped into right field for a base hit. I think for Livingston, coming into the league, 6'4", 245 with all the home run numbers that we saw at Georgia Gwinnett. 36 home runs in 4 years there, including 19 in the 2022 season. And winning the home run derby. He won the home run derby after playing, I believe it was 1 or 2 games here in the league. You know, he just came at that time where he came right around the All-Star break, nothing he could do. We know that how good this guy is and that he's going to hit the ball. I think a lot of pressure started to surround Livingston to hit home runs and take big swings like that because of the performance that he put on in the home run derby. Just the swings he has in batting practice. We just know the power is in there. It's just about now, can it translate? We talked to Jelly a lot about that. And Ryan Cockey, does that swing, does that power translate to the professional level? For some guys, it doesn't. They're trying to unlock it out of Morris right now. It's just maybe taking a little bit longer than people might have thought here now, 10 games played for him since joining the league.
yeah, it takes some time, though, for everyone to make that transition from the college game to the USPBL. And for Morris, you know, coming around the All-Star break and having that high expectation of winning the home run derby, but it hasn't really shown up just yet. You know, mentioned coming from Georgia Gwinnett, one of the talented schools in the NAIA, and having that pressure. And
swing and a miss to Fox Liam, and that is strikeout number 3. Ryan Corlden gives up a single to Livingston Morris, but strikes out the rest. It's 1-0, Hoppers after 1. 3 Ks for Corlden. He's looking good. We'll head to the second.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward. Not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
At Ascension, Michigan, we're committed to being your first choice for healthcare. Our nationally recognized heart program is the leader throughout Michigan in minimally invasive heart valve procedures. For joint replacement, spine, and cancer care, patients choose our specialists for advanced care and treatment. And we also excel in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
One 1-0 Hoppers. Nathan Witt conceded the first home run he has ever given up here in the USPBL. Last inning to Noah Marcoux. Did get the other 3 outs, including a strikeout, so now he'll face Califoot, Flores, and Pup, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters here in the second inning. Hot day. Make sure that young fan stays hydrated all day. Is there any water left in that cup? I think she already drank it all.
have to go back up and get a refill. Was hover around 90, 92 degrees. This afternoon.
It is hot out there.
Yeah, it cooled off a little bit. It's like 85, I think, 86, if I'm not mistaken. But still, a hot day. A Friday night here in the end of July, and summertime in Michigan.
Us broadcasters have it pretty lush, though. We get this air-conditioned room. It's nice and 70 in here, 68 maybe. Nice and cool. They don't need to know that, though, right?
Yeah.
Pretended we're doing this in the hot, muggy weather. 1-0 to Califoot. Foul back.
I think we're either in here or outside in the on the outfield calling the game.
There have been, some interesting places to call games from in my career, and I'm sure yours has been the same.
Yeah. It's been interesting. So
inside with the fastball. 2 balls and a strike on Califoot, who has been a very nice addition to the league. Provides some good defense in left field, a really good bat at the plate from the left side. Wasn't here long before he quickly became an all-star this season as he swings over the cutter. Hitting .250, does have a home run this year.
Yeah, it's been a nice addition, to the Hoppers, the outfield depth.
2-2, swing and a miss. Right over the cutter inside. Witt likes to use that pitch to lefties, and Califoot couldn't catch up to it. Second strikeout of the day for Nathan Witt. 1 up and 1 down here in the second.
Yeah, chase him in that inside part of the plate. That one curved its way in pretty nicely, and Califoot wasn't able to get anything on it.
And what does that tell you about Nathan Witt? He gave up the home run to the lefty Marcoux, trying to go inside to him, and Marcoux beat the ball to the spot and dropped the barrel on it for a home run. Gets 2 strikes on Califoot, another lefty who has power. Maybe not, I don't know that Joey Califoot has the same power as Noah Marcoux, but still a guy who's home run dangerous. Already has one this season.
Very similar.
And he still goes back to his spot, goes back inside to the lefty with the cutter where he likes to work, and gets a strikeout.
Yeah, it's not going to work every time. It's not going to be perfect. Sometimes the lefties are going to get you on that, either just a single or a home run right there by Marcoux. But you can't feel like, I can't use that again, or have that fear of, that one's going to go over the fence. So you got to be comfortable with what you're doing. You've been practicing this, throughout your career, and be able to do what's comfortable. And
swing and a miss. Flores down on strikes. That's the 3rd K for Nathan Witt. Now he's really starting to work.
Yeah, he's found his rhythm. 4 straight retired since that home run. And
as we mentioned, it's only going to be a spot start for Nathan Witt. If he gets Alex Pup out here, it will be his last batter. Very unlikely that he goes more than 2 innings, and that's why you see Chase Gearing, a new pitcher in the league, getting up and warm in the bullpen as Pup swings through the fastball, no balls and a strike. And we should mention, too, while Witt makes these spot starts as a regular in the rotation, he is still available out of the bullpen on the days that he does not start. He started 6 days ago, July 22nd, against the Beavers, and pitched 2 days before that for the Mammoths. So, he does more than just these spot starts occasionally. He is ready out of the bullpen to throw that 95 heater past a lot of guys. He's a guy that Taylor Jellikowski can use. I need a strikeout. I need some soft contact. Here's Nathan Witt.
Yeah, you don't want. Yeah, what's nice about it is that you don't have to worry about waiting 3-4 days for him to rest, have that arm rest, but have him pitch about 25, 30 pitches around his ballpark in it, but able to have that, a little bit of rest on there, but able to have him come back in the next day or two to have him ready as available in the bullpen to come out.
Couple sliders outside to Alex Pup after getting ahead 0-2. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pup stays alive as the cutter darts away at the last minute.
Now, Pup was at the top of the lineup, at the start of the season. Coach Cocky has made that adjustment to put him down at the 7th spot recently. And looking at it statistically, he is a leader, despite the 174 average, but he's a guy that brings a lot defensively over at short, and he's made some key plays, some spectacular plays over there throughout the course of the season.
He's having a good at-bat here, staying alive.
Did not have a hit last night in the game against Unicorns. Some fans enjoying this one here so far.
Alex Pup with another foul ball. This one might stay in. No, it just sneaks over the netting as Scott Combs was giving chase. So 3 straight 2-strike fouls for Alex Pup.
With the huge foul ground here at Jimmy John's Field, you would think for Scott Combs that he thought he had a chance maybe, but it just barely went into the stands.
The 2-2 again. Swing and a miss. Witt went back to the high cheese, got him to swing through it. 3 up and 3 down, all on swings. And what a day for Nathan Witt. 2 innings, 4 strikeouts. He does concede the 1 long ball, but that is likely it for him. Gives up only 1 run. See if his team can get it back in the bottom of the 2nd when we return.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
With a transforming world, we can see how drastically the world is heading towards automation. And so, we need 24/7 surveillance and security systems for our homes and businesses to avoid any theft or breach of privacy. JARPCOM brings the installation of security cameras to the tip of your fingers with our state-of-the-art mobile app. JARPCOM also provides surveillance monitoring of your entire property with flexible options that offer a dependable solution to be scaled to fit any domestic or commercial need. Contact JARPCOM today for a free estimate at 800-369-0374 or look us up on the web at jarpcom.com.
Welcome back to Jimmy John's Field. Ryan Corlden on the mound. Really good first inning for him. Gave up a single, but the rest, 3 strikeouts. He only threw 2 pitches outside the strike zone. Burl Dixon struck out on a 1-2, and Livingston Morris singled on a 1-1. But other than that, Ryan Corlden looks good through the first inning, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Struck out the side, only allowing the 1 single, but he's been strong, and it's been working here so far, trying to keep it up. He'll face that middle part of the order with Mills, Nelson, and Garbasic due up. And this is a huge game for the Hoppers. We mentioned coming in, winning their last 3 before dropping last night. And
Patrick Mills, the 23-year-old native of Russiaville, Indiana, making just his 2nd start here in the USPBL, 2nd start professionally. Swings and hits a liner to right. This one might get to the wall. Schellenbarger scoops it up. No, he doesn't. It gets past him on the warning track. This is extra bases for Mills. He coasts into 2nd with a stand-up double. Nice start for the youngster.
Yeah, send it down the right center field gap, and Schellenbarger, I think he misplayed it, and right at the edge of the wall, which allowed Mills to stand up easily at 2nd base. He also had a double in his first outing on Tuesday night against the Beavers. And
I was going to say, he already got his first pro hit out of the way, so now he's just in his regular groove. Start the day off with a double. Went 1 for 4 in that first game with a double. Well, here's Trey Williams-Nelson.
Another new addition for manager Jellikowski.
Swing, fly ball, left field, way back. Is it fair? It is not. Williams-Nelson thinks it is. Our home plate umpire raises both hands to say it's foul, and it appears it's all smiles back there. I think Williams-Nelson just wanted the call. Man, he smoked that thing. And in the end, strike 1.
Oh, so close. That just would be a few feet to where we are left, from our left to the foul pole, and just, that's just, when you think you have it and it just misses by a few feet, and it just, you have to walk all the way back to home plate. And
pretty impressive power from the former minor leaguer, a guy who in his entire minor league career, which spanned a couple years, 3 seasons, only hit 2 home runs. Hit 1 in high A ball and 1 in rookie ball with the Los Angeles Angels organization.
Yeah, it was a 14th round pick in 2018.
2-1 swing and a miss.
Coming from Houston, Texas.
We talked about Shohei Ohtani, who since the last time we spoke about him, hit another home run, by the way, might add 39 on the year for Shohei. But obviously Williams Nelson in the Angels organization got to be teammates with Shohei for a day when Ohtani had a rehab start down in rookie ball back in 2018 as he grounds out to the shortstop Pup on a nice pick by Joe Burke. Williams Nelson said he was that close to beating it out, but just asked him about, what that was like. Because even back in 2018, Shohei wasn't who he is today, but that's still Shohei Ohtani. And Williams Nelson said, but he still went up and asked for a picture with him and said it was just so cool to be there and see him in person and take the field with him. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it's always cool to see guys, especially like Shohei Ohtani, who has been a guy that has really changed the game, though. A two-way player, someone really haven't seen a lot in baseball in years, with the rise of the DH, and that's been the story so far. The last couple years, the National League adjusted from no longer having the pitcher's bat to adjusting to the DH, and it's been evolving the game, but Shohei's been an exception. Being good on the mound as well on the plate.
Now, I'm curious. Let's take Steph Curry, for example. Steph Curry was shooting threes from 40 feet. Now you see 8-year-olds doing it. I don't think it's necessarily Curry's to blame. I think the three-pointer had a natural evolution in the game of basketball and was going to be as popular as it is today with or without Steph Curry. But there's the correlation, and everybody blames Steph. I'm wondering if we're, as the years go on and the Shohei lore grows and the legend grows, are we going to see more two-way players? We've already seen a couple at the college level start to make a name for himself. The young man from Florida, I'm forgetting his name, who was in the College World Series as a two-way player. I'm wondering if he is going to make that popular, because really historically there are not almost any two-way players that did it in the way that Shohei has, and that's do both at the same time in the same season at the same level. He's one of the best hitters and one of the best pitchers, and he's doing it at the same time.
Yeah, and it's insane. It's very difficult to be in for both, especially pitching and hitting. And I think you would have thought you'd see it maybe more like maybe in the National League, during that time when pitchers were batting.
Yeah, when they were hitting more, you think maybe someone would be like, let's try to get good at this.
Yeah, but there's been some pitchers that had some success, but not up to the extent of Ohtani. Like Madison Bumgarner, who was with the Giants, was having hitting the baseball, and
Bartolo Colon hit a home run.
Yeah.
He's got a home run to his name. A 4-pitch walk to Garbasic puts runners on first and second with only one out. A little trouble here in the second for Corraldon, who coasted through the first. Combs takes strike one. Fastball in, 1-1.
I think maybe like Clayton Kershaw with the Dodgers. He's been an ace, for years, and that hasn't happened, with him. But
just go up there and take your 3 strikes. That's what they've been taught. 1-1. Curveball, bottom of the zone, strike 2. Combs thought about it, ultimately did not offer, and he falls behind a ball and 2 strikes.
Combs coming in, only 188 on the season, but so the key player, behind the dish.
Grounds it to third, could be 2. Dunn will tag for 1, throw to first. Burke is there, makes the grab, tagged him out. Combs didn't get to the base. That is the most unorthodox double play you'll ever see. It still just goes 5-3, and the Hoppers are out of the inning. They still have their 1-run lead. It's 1-0 as we go to the third on the USPBL network.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal-getter or dream chaser, an empty nester or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
Diamond Hoppers leading 1-0, a happy dugout right now, thanks to Noah Marcoux, who I believe that's him standing up right there. Can't see if that's number 5. I think that's him. That looks like Noah, who had the home run in the first inning, a solo shot to put his team up. And they needed it because Nathan Witt on the mound had a very good second inning, a very good 2 innings other than the one blemish, the home run. Nathan Witt's 2-inning start is done, so now Chase Gearing, a newcomer to the league, will make his second appearance in the U.S. PBL. He started one of the doubleheader games for Taylor Jellikowski last weekend, went 4 2/3 innings, gave up no runs, had 2 walks and 5 strikeouts, and looked very good. Before we get to deeper on Gearing, we just have to talk about, despite the home run, how good the start really was for Nathan Witt. 4 strikeouts, 2 soft contact outs. He struck out the side in the second inning. Really impressed by that. Not only striking out the side, but he does it after giving up the 400-foot bomb to Noah Marcoux. I really like that response from Witt.
Yeah, retiring the last 5, before going off for the day, but you got to give credit to Nate Witt. Had a good start. That 1 home run. Something he shook off, but he did really well. Able to keep his control in this command and not get out of it, though, after that mistake. And that's something that was a point here, allowing that no-doubter, but he adjusted really well, kept his composure, and end of the day, with 4 punch-outs, and something that, it's only a 1-run deficit. It's not over. We still got a long way to go here, Brendan. So
I think all things considered, that will go in as a positive for the Mammoths and for Nathan Witt, as Gearing will face Dunn, Hughes, and Acevedo, 8-9-1 here in the third for the 23-year-old native of Troy, Michigan. Just down the street, Chase Gearing. Curveball misses above the zone, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Coming from Nicholls State University, in Division I school in the Southland Conference, and then also spent time, in the 2020 season at Lansing Community College, and then played 1 season at Saginaw Valley, in the 2019 season. He's been around, in the JUCO Division II and Division I.
On the ground to second. Scooped up by Williams Nelson, and an easy play. The putout goes 4-3 for the first out. Yeah, that Lansing Community College is not one to write off. When you look at the junior colleges, those that are not familiar with the baseball world, Lansing Community College is as good as it gets. National title contenders every single year. The Stars out there in Lansing have been one of the powerhouses in the community college level of baseball for a couple of years now.
Yeah, it's been a lot over these smaller, from JUCO, Division II, Division III, NAIA. There's a lot of good talent, that can compete with, the Division I programs, and rightly so, right, for these guys coming in, spending 2 years at a JUCO and getting that experience. Doesn't matter where you play, you're still playing, getting collegiate experience, and that's something that Chase Gearing has, being around the block, in college baseball.
Swing and a miss. Hughes down on strikes. First strikeout for Gearing. For Chase Gearing, it's a 5-pitch mix, and get ready for it. 4-seam fastball, 2-seam fastball, curveball, changeup, and we haven't seen it yet, but keep your eye out, the knuckleball. Not often do you see that these days. He doesn't throw it that much, and I think partially the reason we're not going to see it for a little bit here in this league is because the catchers have to get used to it. Now, Scott Combs, who I think got shaken up, caught a bit of that foul ball on his wrist, said if we go out there and he says, hey, I want to throw it, I feel good, I like it, he said, I have no choice. I got to just accept it and try to do my best. If it hits me in the face, if it hits me in the chest, if it hits me in the glove, whatever, I'll make the play.
You make a good point. You got to be able to have that chemistry if the catcher's comfortable with it as well, and you spend some time in practice, working on it. Want to just do it in a situation like this. He gets the catchers off guard. So
on the ground, foul over to third.
So it's going to take some time when we see it. It'll be the right moment. Not sure when that will be, but when he does show that knuckleball, it's going to surprise a lot of the hitters.
The 1-2 almost went in with the curveball. The defense took a couple steps towards the dugout. Instead, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, they were ready for it. They were about to walk off the field.
Couldn't spot the fastball. 3-2. That's the 4-seam. Full count to Acevedo. Struck out his first time up.
Yeah, Green was disappointed on that one. Has to work here with this payoff.
Payoff pitch with 2 outs. In on the hands, popped up foul. Combs, I think he has room. He sure does. Makes the grab, a nice play, and that is a quick 1-2-3 inning for Chase Gearing, and that pop out is the 5th third out of this ball game. As always, brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, our proud presenting sponsor of today's broadcast. JJ the Water Boy making his nightly delivery, brought to you by Michigan First Credit Union to shallow right field. Everybody's favorite.
Fan favorite, no, my favorite as well. Brendan always does his hard work, keeping the umpires hydrated. This hot weather here today, and
keeping umpires hydrated and broadcasters happy. He's always up here in the press box as well, so we get to see JJ a frequent amount. Very good friends with him. On Thursday, August 3rd, the Mammoths will be wearing custom jerseys featuring their Bad to the Bone logo, which fans can bid on now through noon on Saturday, August 12th. To get your own Bad to the Bone jersey, go to 32auctions.com/BTTB. Bad to the Bone. That's 32auctions.com/BTTB. 50% of all proceeds from this online auction will benefit Michigan Special Olympics, our state's largest sports organization for people with intellectual disabilities. To see the rest of our Woolly Mammoths Bad to the Bone merchandise available for purchase, check out uspbl.com/shop. There's hoodies, hats, t-shirts, everything in that awesome Westside Woolly Mammoths Bad to the Bone style. Very cool colors, cool logo. Alex, everything about that jersey is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, I think about getting one that looks really cool. That Bad to the Bone, that's something that they've been really harping on, and it's been a fan favorite.
Yeah, we got a sneak peek at those hats on opening day, so we've been aware of this for a while, but man, that's some good-looking gear right there.
Trying to see if anybody in the stands is wearing Bad to the Bone here tonight.
Yeah, I know a couple of hats were for sale already.
It's been a popular choice, in the store, and we'll see.
So we're here in the bottom of the third. Due up for the Mammoths, Colby Seltzer, Ward Hacklin, and Burl Dixon. 9-1 and then 2 against Ryan Corraldon, who is still out there for inning number 3. This is the inning to pay attention to for Ryan, and we saw a little bit of the wildness in the last inning. Strike 1 to Colby Seltzer. He had a good start in his most recent start. That was the one that you mentioned, Alex, a week ago. 5 innings of 1-hit, 1-run baseball with 4 strikeouts. But the 2 before that, in consecutive weekends, he went 2 1/3 innings. On July 15th, he gave up 7 runs on 3 hits to these Mammoths. And then the week before that, to the Unicorns in 2 1/3 innings, gave up 5 runs on 3 hits. Had 3 walks and 2 strikeouts in that one as well. 4 walks in the July 15th start. All of that coming in the 3rd inning. So if he can get over the hump that is this inning, we're usually on pace for a good Ryan Corraldon day, but it's this inning that is the key one to pay attention to.
Yeah, it's going to be something to really keep an eye on. And he's going to try to move on in that 3rd inning, just to steer away from those rocky starts that he's had. But when you look at it, piece by piece, inning by inning, of where his strong suits are, where he needs to improve on, and
looking at it here, this is going to be really crucial, like you were saying. And if he can quiet down these Mammoths here, he has Seltzer right now, then back up to the top of the order with Hacklin and Dixon due up. So it's going to be interesting to see how he responds here.
The thing to pay attention to also is the command. We mentioned in those last 2 starts, it's only 3 hits in both of those, but 5 runs in one, 7 in the other. And that's because of the walks. The walks jumped up in that 3rd inning in each of those starts. He did have the 4-pitch walk to Garbasic last inning, but then Combs grounded into the double play right after that, so Corlden was lucky enough to get out of it with 2 runners on base. Strike 3 called to Colby Seltzer, got him inside with the curveball, and that's a good start to the inning. 4th strikeout, first looking of the night for Corlden.
Yeah, chased him up and in. Seltzer was not happy with that call. No, he kind of nodded his head, thinking that should have been ball 3, but he set up right in that inside top corner of the strike zone, and that's how he's been in his command, trying to get near the corners. Just missed it that time, though, but.
Struck out Hacklin on 3 pitches to start this game. Now the 1-0. Fastball tipped foul for strike 1. Hacklin back in the top of the order where he learned to get comfortable this season. 1-1, swing and a miss. Nice curveball with some late break from Corlden. That's that. Talking to Whit Hughes, he didn't even really know how to describe it. It's best to just call it a curveball because it's a little bit slurve, a little bit knuckle curve, strange grip weirdness going on. In the end, it does what's important, which is induce swings and misses.
Yeah, that's something that he wants to do with that pitch, and like it did that time, and we'll see if he goes with it again ahead in the count. In that leadoff spot, like you said, but working to work in that top of the order.
1-2, fastball up. Hacklin stays alive.
Gotta have to in that situation. That one at 92 on the gun. Going with that fastball there.
Shadows starting to play a factor here in these at-bats. Curveball, ooh, just outside. Corlden had his strikeout strut going. Instead, he has to hop back on the rubber. As the sun sets over the 3rd base side, you see those roof line shadows, the stanchions connecting the roof to the rest of the ballpark. Got to be tough for some of the hitters. The 2-2, another curveball and another foul ball.
On that last pitch, missed that outside corner. Now 2-2, Hacklin trying to battle here, trying to get himself rewarded on base, either by walk or a single.
Deep breath from Corlden, the 2-2. Check swing, did he go? Appeal to first? No. Full count.
That was really close, really close to breaking the plane there, but just held up just enough to convince the first base umpire to give him ball 3.
Now Corlden will step off and take a minute.
They called a pitch clock violation.
So Corlden intentionally stepped off. I think he just wanted an extra breath and thought the pitch clock would reset. Instead, he didn't step off in time, I think, is what the home plate umpire is saying. So it's ball 4. Ryan Cockey's going to come out for an explanation.
Corlden was talking with the infield umpire now. He wants to get a wording here. I don't know if it was just miscommunication. No, he thought he stepped off the mound. No, the home plate umpire called this. No, like pointed, like the time, like on his hand, but I was saying it was a pitch clock violation, not putting up his two hands to call time.
That's the only thing that I can think of that it could have been. I didn't get a look at the clock as Corraldon stepped off. I thought he just maybe wanted an extra breath before the 3-2. And then Hacklin was sent down to first base. So did he just not step off in time? That must have been it. We're not going to get an explanation up here until tomorrow, probably, when we can talk to everybody involved. 1 ball, no strikes on Burl Dixon, who's now batting with a runner on and 1 down.
Could have been a little bit different, if it would have been maybe 2 outs and bases clear, but you got a runner on. You got to be careful, with Dixon.
Mammoths this season with 37 stolen bases, second in the league behind the Beavers. This is a Hoppers team who just will not steal bases. The Mammoths are not only base stealers, but they're aggressive on the base paths with the ball in play as well.
Sometimes you got to take those risks. At this stage of the game, early on, maybe you can afford to try to take a gamble. Hacklin, 3 steals and 4 attempts. Still does have speed, especially as a leadoff guy in the lineup. But
big spot here, 1 on, 1 out, 2-1. A good hitter's count for Burl Dixon. He tried to get on top of that last fastball up in the zone. Mammoths trailing by a run, trying to get back on the scoreboard. Inside, Dixon pops it up. Corraldon is there. He'll be called off by Burke, who makes the grab, and that is a big spot for Ryan Corraldon in the Hoppers to get out the best hitter in the Mammoths lineup.
Yeah, always crucial. And once again, they retired Dixon. I don't know, that's what Dixon was looking for when he swung at it. It was off like the bottom of the bat, and it just skied up in the air, and that's just a crucial out. If you're the Hoppers. Make it 2 out, and you bring up your number 3 hitter, Livingston Morris.
I think you're right, Alex, that Dixon was just looking for, and there's another pitch clock violation. Ball 1. It's called as Corraldon is into his motion. Now, he has to start his motion before 0. If he's going to step off like he did to get Hacklin over at first in the 3-2 count, that was ball 4, that step off has to come before 9 seconds. The motion has to start before 0. He has the full length of the pitch clock to start his delivery, and it is as soon as he begins his motion, the clock does not matter anymore as long as it doesn't read 0.
It's been an adjustment. We've seen a few of those already. I think it's our 3rd or 4th pitch clock violation here today, and
I've got it as the 3rd.
Yeah, I think it's the 3rd too. I think it was 3. I don't know if it was 3 or 4. So
1-2, runner goes inside. Morris fouls it back. Might have had the hit and run on there. That was a fastball well in on the hands. But that's a big out to get Dixon out in that spot after being behind in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. That might have given Corraldon another inning or 2 in this start. No signs of slowing down yet. The fastball is still mid to low 90s. This clock has been the issue this inning. In time, this one is grounded. That's a foul ball. Bit of a late call, but it does just sneak over the bag.
Once again, trying to go with the hit and run. Hacklin with speed, only with 2 outs. Get the runner on the move. You go on anything here, so.
Corraldon, a couple shakes on Hughes. The 1-2. Hacklin goes again. Morris swings and fouls it again. We've done that 3 times in a row. I think Taylor Jellikowski is not going to let up, and Hacklin is still going to go on this next pitch, if I had to guess.
Yeah. I think that's what we're going to go for here.
I think what they're looking for right now is they know that Corraldon is working well, that they got to take advantage of any base runners. They want Hacklin to try to score on a base hit here.
At this speed, he can get him to score from first base.
Now he doesn't go. It's in the dirt. Hacklin hesitated going down to second. He could have been in scoring position with how far away that got from Hughes, but he stays over at first. Hughes did a nice job getting on that quickly. It's now 2-2.
See if it makes an impact if Morris gets it in play, but Hacklin, we'll see if he would have been at second base, if he could have scored, or we'll just have to see what happens. But
8th pitch of the at-bat, the 2-2. Misses outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now this is big here because the last walk to Hacklin came on a 3-2 pitch clock violation. So Corraldon has to be aware of the clock now with 2 violations already this inning. Clock down to 8 as Corraldon comes set.
It's going to definitely go here on 3-2.
And Hacklin goes, and he missed it, ball 4. Good at bat from Livingston. Morris had 3 2-strike fouls. He saw 10 pitches and works it to the best power hitter so far this season in the lineup for the Mammoths, Fox Liam, with 2 on and 2 out.
Didn't chase that one. That was low, just below the knees.
That's a tough pitch to lay off, the fastball low.
Yeah, but it was good discipline, good at bat by Morris. You get Hacklin in scoring position now. It wouldn't have mattered if he wasn't been at second base on the wild pitch, but he's still there. But now you get up to your cleanup guy, Fox Liam, we mentioned, who has been really well since coming into the league.
Liam hitting .293 with a .981 OPS, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs for the lefty out of Excelsior, Minnesota. Played for some big names in college, 2 years at Coastal Carolina, then grad transferred to Missouri to play in the SEC. Takes ball 1 low. Hacklin at second, Morris at first. That walk to Morris, the 3rd of the day for Corraldon. Liam up the middle, fluttered into center. That one's going to drop. Hacklin being waved around. Morris stops at second. The throw is well up the line. There's no play at the plate. The Mammoths have tied it thanks to Fox Liam. It's 1-1.
Good barrel off the bat. Fox Liam in right center field. Got that one perfectly in between Pup and Acevedo. The throw it was partially cut off from Flores over to Corraldon. And Hacklin was able to score, sliding in. And the Mammoths have been working through here, Brendan, and been disciplined throughout. And coming through again is Fox Liam with his 11th RBI on the season. And we're tied up in 1.
Well, we talked about this being the big inning for Corraldon. The 3rd inning can be his kryptonite. And we also, beyond that, talked about the walks. It's not necessarily a bunch of hits. He doesn't get hit hard in the 3rd inning. He loses the command occasionally. Well, 1 walk to a pitch clock violation and another in a full count to Livingston Morris. That first walk from Hacklin comes around to score. He's only given up 1 base hit, but this is the 6th batter to come to the plate in Patrick Mills. So 2 on, 2 out still for Mills. The lefty out of Russiaville, Indiana, hauls it back. Already a double today for Patrick.
If you're Corraldon, just want to get this out right here, limit the damage. It's been a little bit of an up and down with the pitch clock violations and it's allowing that RBI single by Liam.
The 1-2. Taken for strike 3. Corraldon gets the strikeout, gets out of the inning despite giving up 1 run. That's the 5th strikeout for him. And the Mammoths tie it after 3. We're locked at 1 apiece here on the US PBL Network.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. FSBcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood because strong neighbors mean stronger communities.
Where good neighbors do great things.
Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and recenter life around zapping stuff and cheering for stuff with your friends. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
A picturesque day for some baseball here in downtown Utica. A gorgeous night and a gorgeous game we've had so far. 85 degrees, 64% humidity, a little bit muggy, but still just an all-around nice day to play this lovely game. We've played 3 innings of it so far tonight, and we're tied at 1. Thanks to this man at the plate, Noah Marcoux, a home run in his first at-bat. This will be his second chance to add to the box score in this game. He's the only name in the box score right now for the Hoppers. That home run on 1 hit. That's all they've gotten from their lineup the first time through as he looks at strike 1 from Chase Gearing going out there for his second inning of work.
Let's look in here if the Hoppers can get more runners on base and get back to take the lead back. No, only Marcoux's been the lone hit and run, but the rest of the guys have to step up. But it's been good pitching by the Mammoths. With Gearing doing really well, coming in relief for Witt.
1-2, high fastball. Marcoux lays off, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gearing had a just below 5 ERA in his 200-plus innings of work in college. We mentioned the 3 schools that spans. That 200 innings is just at the D1 level, does not include the years at Lansing Community College. The 3-2 is outside, and Marcoux works a walk. He's reached twice tonight in 2 plate appearances. First walk of the day at all for any Mammoths pitchers, but it belongs to Chase Gearing.
And you mentioned, though, with the experience that Gearing has, and did really well during his time, throughout his collegiate career. Also, attended Bishop Foley High School in Madison Heights and led them to a state championship in 2017.
Burke hits a fly ball to left center field. This one's deep. Dixon looking at it. It is off the top of the wall. Marcoux trying to go for 3. He's coasting. The throw is high, and Marcoux is in there safely. Burke will go to second. A long fly ball that was nearly a home run and a 2-run shot. Instead, it's extra bases for Joe Burke. Runners at second and third with nobody out.
Yeah, that one just hit off the wall. That Scott's and David Buster's sign, and Dixon had to throw over. The throw was cut off, and then kind of a little bit of an errant throw. It went high, but the Mammoths are very fortunate. He wasn't able to score. Marcoux was not able to score on that play, being held up at third. I think it was a good choice, by Coach Cockey with nobody out to have 2 runners in scoring position.
Schellenbarger smoked, caught by Morris. What a grab. That saves 2 runs right there with that left-handed snag. And there's 1 out.
That's just huge. It just came off like a missile, and Morris right on it.
And going back to Marcoux getting held at third, I think partially, 1, he got held because he didn't know whether it was going to be a home run or if that ball was going to get down. And if Burke hits it 4 feet to the right, it hits that lower part of the wall and is gone for a home run. As you mentioned, it hitting that Dave & Buster sign, which is the last sign of left field at the height that it is, which is probably about 8 feet. And then the wall drops to a 6 or 7 foot height in left center, stretching all the way to the right field foul pole. Califoot grounds this one. That's fair. Morris will step on the bag. Neither runner can advance. Couple of plays to the first baseman, and quickly there's 2 outs.
Yeah, good eye though by Morris, just keeping track of the runners. You got the for sure out, at first, just step on the bag, but you go from having, that ball that was nearly out, to having 2 outs, and runners on second and third.
And also, we're remembering that Marcoux is working his way back from a hamstring injury. And I asked him, how does it feel? Does it feel in the swing and the field? He said it feels fine with everything except running. And we could see him kind of laboring to third base over there. And that was how he injured that hamstring in the first place, was rounding the bag at second base in a game earlier this season as Flores takes a breaking ball outside for ball 1. So Ryan Cockey is obviously not going to push his designated hitter today, as that's a bat you want to keep in the lineup moving forward.
Yeah, you don't want to risk, getting that injured or giving away an out, at the plate. Especially, you just got him back, provided with that power, with that home run he had, and it's going to be a crucial part in the lineup that you want to have, down the stretch. Come late August into September in the playoffs.
Now the 1-1 to Flores. Little fly ball, left field coming in. Liam diving. He makes the grab. Run-saving catch by Fox Liam. We're still tied at 1. 2 in scoring position. He lays out for the grab. And that will be the 3rd out of the inning. What a play by Fox Liam and the Mammoths. We're still tied at 1.
You dreamed of starting a company, not an HR department, but your business has grown fast, and so have the complexities of payroll and taxes, benefits administration, and other HR functions. That's why your business needs a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions. Tryon provides businesses of all sizes access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Time for the bottom of the 4th here on the USPBL Network, and when it's time for baseball, it's time for beer. Two Hearted Ale has been named the #1 beer in America for the past 4 years by members of the American Homebrewers Association. Play ball with the best. Two Hearted Ale, the iconic American IPA from Bell's Brewery in Comstock, Michigan. Please drink responsibly. Fox Liam saving the game for the time being. We're tied at 1 thanks to him and that unbelievable, spectacular catch we just saw in left field, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking at Liam, though, just reaching out for it, making the play, and that's remarkable. If that would have just dropped right in front of him, that would have been 2 runs easily, but somehow, some way, we're tied up at 1 still. He had that double, by Joe Burke that just hit off the top of the wall to put runners on second and third with nobody out, and it's just really tough, if you're the Hoppers, to come away empty-handed after that. And
to tell you, the Mammoths are living on the margins right now. A couple feet to the right on that double from Burke, and that would have been a 2-run home run, and a couple feet in on that Fox Liam diving catch, and that would have been a 2-run single. Done. Skies the throw. Did Burke land on the bag? He did. Dre Williams-Nelson tried to beat it out. Not for a lack of effort. He is out at the bag. A little bit of a high throw from Chandler Dunn. It goes into the box score as a simple 5-3 for the first out. And Burke might have been shaken up a little bit at the leg as Williams-Nelson slid to try to get there in time.
Yeah, he was just trying to slide forward over by Dunn. It was a high throw, but Burke able to beat out, get his foot on the bag by about maybe a half a step right when on that slide. And you like the effort, though, by Nelson.
Carbasic swings at the first pitch and fouls it back. He walked on 4 pitches his first time up. Nija Nelson on YouTube says, "Go Dravion," as he unable to make it on that ground out, his second ground out of the game. Multi-Apple says, let's go Mammoths. Giovanni Mocheri says, let's go Frogs. And later says, hey, Alex and Brendan, what changed for the Mammoths to give them their 6-game win streak? Giovanni, it's a great question. You know, when we talked to Taylor Jellikowski, he kind of had a sit-down with his team and a real heart-to-heart with them before one of their games a couple weekends ago and said, you know, the conversation around the Mammoths all year has been, this is the best team in the league on paper. When you look at the pitching staff, the lineup, they've got the best group of guys, simply put, from the history that they have. And he said, I'm sick of being the best team on paper and not the best team in the standings. And he's worked a lot with his offense on their approach. And you can see it today. When you pay attention to these at-bats, they are much more disciplined than they have been in games past, as Garbasic just muscles one into left field for a base hit. That'll put one on and one out for the Mammoths. But they've worked a lot on their approach. He injected into that process. He says he usually lets guys have their own approach, do what's comfortable for them, do what works for them, and let them figure it out. With the results that they were getting, it just wasn't good enough for Taylor Jellikowski. So he got involved, gave some guys some help, some tips, some advice on how to approach their specific at-bats, and it's worked a lot. The offense has turned it around. And Taylor Jellikowski is also a pretty darn good general manager, if you ask me. He's added some really good names all year long, not just in the field, but in the bullpen as well. Jonathan Habb, Cal Coughlin, we see today Chase Gearing. 3 arms that stand out as later additions from Taylor Jellikowski that have really turned around this pitching staff, which is still not the best in the league. They still have the second highest ERA at a 4.26 on the season overall, but their bullpen has gotten significantly improved, and he now has 3 solid starters. We saw one of them today in Nathan Witt, and the other starter, he says, is Chase Gearing. He wants him to get more innings, which is why he works out of the pen tonight.
Yeah, Coach Jellikowski's been phenomenal with this group, and you know, at this level, you want to give some guys some leeway on what they've been comfortable with throughout their collegiate career, but then once like getting to know the heart of the season and after the All-Star break, Coach Jellikowski just wanted to give some insight into the players. So he wants them to get better, game in and game out, so they can get to the next level. And by using some of the tactics and some of the things that he told them to do, some of the adjustments, some of the tweaks, like you're saying, being disciplined at the plate, and as well as the pitching has been improved on what to do in certain situations. It's been paying off for them, and coming out of the gates here in the second half of the season, 6-1. Their only loss coming in their first game out of the All-Star break. So
1-2. Combs swings and misses at the fastball, dotted at the bottom of the zone. Strike 3. Corraldon gets his first strikeout of the inning, 6th of the day. It's been a good day for Ryan Corraldon. Has scattered 4 hits so far, walked 3 and struck out 6. That's the second out here in the 4th. And yeah, I've just been impressed today. The difference in the approach for the Mammoths. Their takes are a lot better. They have a better eye at the plate. They're waiting for the right pitch. And when you think about the bad swings today, and there aren't always bad swings, but the one that comes to mind, surprisingly enough, is from the guy who's been the best at the plate all season long and is perhaps the only guy that didn't need a talking to about his approach, and Burl Dixon. When he pops out on that 2-1 on that fastball low and in, that's not a pitch that I think Dixon is probably looking for in that situation, but he swings at it and pops out in a big spot with a runner on and only 1 out. Runner goes, Garbasic, and that pops out of Combs' hand. Garbasic's going to round the bag at second and go for 3. The throw is in time, though. The tag is as well. Garbasic out on the head-first slide. Hughes couldn't get him at second, so he gets him at third.
Garbasic, rounding second, thought he was able to get to third. Thought he beat the throw and the tag, but was in a disagreement with the umpire. Got a little aggressive there. It popped out of the glove. It popped out of the glove of Hughes, and then sliding over to third and out of the inning. Unfortunate there for the Mammoths.
Nice play by that man, Whit Hughes. We're still tied at 1 as we head to the 5th on the USPBL Network.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms, and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
What are the odds that we're neighbors, where you've known each other our whole lives, and both tear the exact same things in this exact same knee?
So an ACL tear is an injury to the main stabilizing structure of the knee.
You want a good team around you, because then you know that what you're doing is going to help you in the long run.
My message to everyone who's helped me, thank you so much, because you guys helped me progress so much.
Also hearing it from a friend that's went through the exact same thing, I think sort of helps that know that there's a bright side at the end.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
Joe Burke on the bench for the Diamond Hoppers. He was just having a discussion with one of the athletic trainers here as Pup fouls the first one back. And if you remember, Burke shaking up a little bit as he works that leg. It looks like the right leg maybe, as Williams-Nelson slid into the base at first on a close bang-bang play on what was almost an infield single. Burke landed on the bag. I didn't get a chance on the replay to look whether it was Williams-Nelson's slide or Burke landing on the bag awkwardly maybe as Pup is out at first. Whether it was the slide or Burke's landing that maybe caused a little bit of pain on that leg. It appears he's going to stay in the game, though. He's not due up to bat for a couple more batters, as Dunn will step in and Hughes is behind him. The 7-8-9 scheduled here in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, we're seeing if Burke's all right. That was just a bang-bang play. Kind of was a high throw from Dunn. He had to jump up for it to get in and get on the bag before Williams-Nelson slid, to try to be safe at first, but
curveball from Gearing misses low. 1 ball, no strikes on Chandler Dunn. Grounded out his first time and also his second time. First time to second base, this time to short.
Yeah, good work by Seltzer. Back-to-back plays to him to get the put out. Just 2 quick outs, for Gearing.
Does have 1 strikeout. It was to Whit Hughes, who was the second batter he faced. Since then, for Gearing, it's been a walk and a single and 6 contact outs. Hughes, fly ball to left. Going back is Liam. That one, he looks up, it's gone. Whit Hughes cranks his first professional home run and gives the Hoppers a 2-1 lead.
Perfect at bat, just line drive off that pitch from Gearing, and Whit Hughes just lifted that one over the wall.
All smiles for Whit Hughes. That has to feel good as he gets back to the dugout and gets to greet them with the elbow slap. His first pro home run. He's had his ups and downs at the plate, and that has to feel good to give his team the lead here in the 5th.
Yeah, Gearing threw him right a little above the knees. And that one, able to send that one out, and the Hoppers have to lead back.
Good swing from Hughes. Acevedo down, no balls and 2 strikes. Strike 3 called. Acevedo goes down looking. Gearing didn't even think it was a strike. He was ready to throw another pitch. He thought it missed low. He gets out of the inning, but not before Whit Hughes can hit his first professional home run and give the Hoppers a 2-1 lead. He'll be behind the dish when we come back here on the USPBL Network.
How do these business owners find the time for peace of mind? Because they rely on Tryon to handle difficult and time-consuming HR tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and more. Working with Tryon, one of the nation's top professional employer organizations, provides access to top-tier health care and employee benefit plans and its team of attorneys and HR experts. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Fifth Third Bank. Yeah, it's a quirky name. But here's the thing. 5/3 equals 166.7%. So we put 166.7% into everything we do. Like automatically getting you your paycheck up to 2 days early. Giving you well-deserved extra time to avoid overdraft fees. And helping you borrow from your future self. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
Ryan Corraldon's day is done. Christian Stelling takes over on the mound for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Corraldon finishes 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, walked 3 and struck out 6. A pretty good day for Ryan Corraldon as Christian Stelling will step on.
Yeah, good performance, from Corraldon. Had a little bit, some stretch, but nonetheless, allowing just the 1 run. And at that 3rd inning, which was a little bit shaky, but it's a little bit better, but he did his job, and the team is up front now, up 1, heading into the bottom of the 5th, and turning it over to the lefty in Christian Stelling from Imperial, Missouri, and the Oakland University grad.
And for Corraldon, too, that 3rd inning was the only shaky one. That was an inning in which 6 batters went to the plate. Every other inning was 4 or less. He struck out 3 and gave up a base hit in the 1st, gave up a base hit and a walk, but got a ground out and a double play in the 2nd. And then in the 4th, got a ground out, a strikeout, and then caught Garbasic trying to steal after that wild pitch to end the inning. That also means Colby Seltzer, who was at the dish during that at-bat, is still up here in the 5th, now trailing by a run against Christian Stelling, who doesn't give up runs. 11.2 innings this year and a goose egg in the run column for Stelling this season. 7 walks and 13 strikeouts as well. Opponent average, the best on the Hoppers, .081 this season for Stelling. He's been lights out from that left side.
Yeah, when you have a guy come in, especially as a southpaw as well, it brings a lot of energy, and a good guy that Coach Cocky uses. He can rely on, and for an inning or two, his last appearance was the 20th, against the Beavers. A perfect inning of work with 2 punch-outs, and going to be facing Seltzer, Hacklin, and Dixon here.
It's a 4-seam fastball, curveball, and changeup for Stelling. The fastball is not explosive. High 80s, low 90s. Those last 2 clocking in at 88. 2 balls and no strikes to the righty Seltzer. Finds the zone there, 2-1. For Stelling this season, he's actually better against righties than against lefties. He's only given up 1 hit to a righty this year. They're 1 for 25, now make it 2 for 26. Colby Seltzer with extra bases as that one gets to the warning track. Califoot picks it up, fires it into the shortstop Pup, but not before Colby Seltzer rolls into second with a double.
Off the bat, and then one down the left field line. That was perfectly placed by Seltzer. Getting the leadoff double and the leadoff man on. But looking at it here, and hopefully the Mammoths can do something here. Just a couple of chances here. They got a run in the 3rd. That's their 5th hit.
Out of nowhere, Stelling finds himself in a stressful inning. And on second, nobody out. The top of the order up for the Mammoths. Hacklin's due for a hit. He struck out and walked today. That's it. 0-1, pounded foul. No balls and 2 strikes now on Ward Hacklin.
And working ahead in the count like you needed here. He chased that pitch away from Seltzer, and the outside corner that Seltzer was able to attack on, and He's in scoring position right now.
Swing and a miss. Got him with the fastball up in the zone. 3 pitches and a big strikeout for Christian Stelling, his first of the game.
Yeah, good response. Making it go upstairs with that pitch. And second punch out for Hacklin here tonight. And this is an important one here with Brill Dixon, despite being 0 for 2.
Dixon this season with runners in scoring position, 476. He's 10 for 21 in this situation. Speaks even more to his 345 batting average. He's got a better average with runners in scoring position than his on-base percentage at 472. And he's 0 for 2 tonight. Swings, it's a fly ball to right, that's hooking foul.
He has to come through in these situations. That's been his bright spot. Looking at it as a team coming in, 286 overall, but you look at Dixon and a guy that stands out from the rest of the team.
And the Mammoths at 286 with runners in scoring position is league best, pretty significantly, I might add, as Dixon fouls it back on the 0-2. So Giovanni Moceri, who was asking earlier what happened to make their 6-game win streak possible, that's a big stat, hitting with runners in scoring position. Nobody else in the league is above 250, and the Mammoths are at 286. A lot of that has come in the last 6 games.
And when you're able to capitalize on that, it can change the game, for your ball club and get on a rhythm and the momentum like you have for the Mammoths. And Dixon's also a good guy, as a vocal leader. Been with this team throughout the entire year and helping the other guys out.
The 1-2, got him, strike 3. Dixon looks at it. Fastball up in the zone again. Hughes likes it, cheering on his pitcher, trying to recover after a leadoff double. It's 2 up and 2 down since then, and now Livingston Morris will dig in.
And that's another huge out for the Hoppers, and they've kept Dixon off the bases here today with that high pitch from Stelling.
Strike 1 to Morris. Stelling has only thrown one ball since giving up the double to Seltzer, and he fell behind in that count. 2-1. Now the 0-1, swing and a miss. Fastball blew it right by him. It registers as 90 on the gun, but that fastball plays up. It kind of just explodes out of his hand. Quickly gets on the hitter, and quickly Morris is behind 0-2. 2 down, 1 on second, and that's fouled back. And you could see the look on Stelling's face as he turned around, thought he had strike 3.
Just got a piece of it by Morris. Now, looking at for him, 2 for 7 with 2 outs. 206 as a team in that department.
The 0-2 again. Couldn't get Morris to chase that high fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Can't let this opportunity go to waste if you're the Mammoths. Get the leadoff man on and score in position, and then retire 3 straight. So
broken bat to short. Pup has to charge, field flip, and they get the out. Christian Stelling, what a rebound. That's a big spot to get out of that inning. A very good Mammoths offense is stifled after a leadoff base hit from the 9-hole hitter Colby Seltzer. Strikeout, strikeout, ground out. Stelling gets out of it, and his team still leads 2-1 as we head to the 6th.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
Companies are competing for talent like never before. With the complexities of handling tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and other HR functions, it's easy to see how a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions makes all the difference. Tryon empowers businesses of all sizes to attract and retain talent by offering access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Back here at the ballpark, Hoppers players always kind to the fans in attendance. You can get pretty close to some of the players here over at the dugouts if you're lucky enough, and most of them are nice enough to sign some autographs and take some time. Usually the ones that are not playing. The ones that are playing are pretty locked in for the most part.
Yeah, no, coming down there, those kids coming down to the dugouts, always nice to get an autograph, from a player. They'll remember that for the rest of their life. So
Noah Marcoux swings and hits a high pop-up just beyond second base. Colby Seltzer, the shortstop, will make the grab. One pitch and one out for Chase Gearing in his fourth inning of work here. He'll face Marcoux, Burke, and Schellenbarger.
He's been really on a groove, coming in. Got out of a situation with runners on second and third, with no outs. No, that was in the fourth.
No balls and a strike on Burke. Swings and hits that hard foul. Joe Burke is a fastball hunter at the plate. And usually with new pitchers, a guy like Burke might be able to see a pitch that he wants, because they don't know him that well. The issue for Burke that he runs into a lot is he's been around the league long enough and seen all these pitchers that they know he crushes fastballs, so they won't throw him one. They don't want to if they don't absolutely have to. But maybe with a new guy like Gearing, maybe you can get away with sneaking one by. That breaking ball is fouled back, so Burke stays alive. He'll see at least 5 pitches as he's behind 0-2.
Yeah, it takes time, for the new pitchers, to adjust, what, opposing batter does and what they're comfortable with. But a guy like Joe Burke, who's been around this league, for a long time and has seen many pitchers throughout his time, and
swing and a miss. That one's tipped by Burke, just barely. Thought we heard a little nick.
You call him a fastball-heavy guy who likes to swing on the fastball, but players adjust, over the course of time and try to steer away from that.
That breaking ball misses inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Trying to force him to swing at something off speed.
Notice how Scott Combs knows not to throw Burke a fastball. And he does. I thought he might have tipped that at first. Burke swings and misses at the high off speed, 83 up in the zone, and that's the 3rd strikeout for Gearing.
Good work, 2 quick outs. Now Burke is another talented hitter, able to retire him after allowing that double that nearly went out the last time you saw him.
Schellenbarger with a good swing his last time up, smoked a liner directly to Livingston Morris in a 2-on, none-out situation. Both were in scoring position as well. That was a 2-run saving line out when Livingston Morris made that grab. Now Schellenbarger's in a good hitter's count. 2 balls, no strikes. Gearing delivers. Righty versus lefty. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, that was just a hard hit ball. The last time, those were just tough to take, and for Schellenbarger, and
boy, that curveball bending inside. That looked like it was well outside, out of Gearing's hand. Now it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 again. Swings, and it's a high pop-up. Going back is Williams Nelson. He'll be called off by a charging Burl Dixon. 3 up and 3 down in the 6th. Uneventful for the Hoppers. Gearing gets a strikeout. It's still 2-1. See if the Mammoths can tie it in the bottom of the 6th or take the lead when we come back on the USPBL Network.
There are things you can rely on in this world, like your dog being happy to see you, coffee getting you through the day, and the government changing business regulations. And when it comes to navigating those regulations, you can rely on Tryon and its team of attorneys. Tryon can also tackle time-consuming HR tasks like payroll and employee benefits, so you can stay focused on growing your business. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Christian Stelling was very good last inning. Came on in relief of the starter Ryan Corlden. Immediately gave up a leadoff double to Colby Seltzer and looked like he might be in some trouble with a man in scoring position and nobody out in the top of the order up. And all he did was strike out the next 2 and get a ground out to Livingston Morris to get out of the inning, so he'll face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters here in the 6th with a 1-run lead. Fox Liam, Patrick Mills, and Dravion Williams-Nelson.
Yeah, that didn't bother him. Well, that leadoff double by Seltzer. He just did what he did. Just get 2 huge punch outs with Hacklin and Dixon, then Livingston Morris to ground out. So this is going to be crucial here with the heart of the order, Liam, Mills, and Williams-Nelson here, Brendan. And tried to keep his perfect ERA alive.
Liam hits a fly ball right field. That one's on a line that drops in front of the wall. Schellenbarger scoops it up. Liam racing to second base. That's a good throw from Bryant. It is not in time, and Pup dropped it anyways. Fox Liam. That's back-to-back leadoff doubles and back-to-back innings for the Mammoths. They'll threaten again here in the 6th.
Yeah, Liam, I mentioned a dangerous hitter. Just that one up, kind of hung up in there.
Yeah.
But it just took a bounce, right to the edge of the wall, and Schellenbarger had a good throw on it, but Pup just popped out of his glove, unable to get the tag, and I was telling him we'll have to do this all over again.
Finds himself in the exact same spot as he did last inning. Leadoff double, and on, nobody out. Mills already has a base hit today. It was a double back in the 2nd inning. His other at-bat in the 3rd was a strikeout looking.
That's the 6th hit already for the Mammoths, but only getting the 1 run across. And the Hoppers just had 2 of those hits of their 3 have been more impactful with the home runs by Marcoux and Hughes.
2 balls and a strike. Lefty-lefty matchup, 2-1. Fouled back 2-2. Mentioned it last time, Stelling likes the righties better than the lefties. He's only given up 2 hits to each side. He's faced more righties. Two-two. This one smoked to right, and Schellenbarger had to adjust a little bit, kind of knuckling out to him in right field, and he makes the grab falling forward. Fox Liam has to go back to second base. He was not ready to tag. He took an advanced step off of second base with how hard that was hit on a line, but it's just out number 1.
Yeah, good vision, though, by Schellenberger to read that play, and Liam wise enough just to hold on in second and not just assume it was just going to bloop in front of Schellenberger. So I think it was a smart choice, but you still got 2 outs to work with, and trying to find a way here with Williams-Nelson to tie the game up.
Williams-Nelson, pair of ground outs tonight. Both to the left side of the infield. First pitch high, gets past Hughes, and Liam scoots over to third base.
Now if you could just get a sacrifice fly, that could get the job done. And
yeah, now the approach drastically changes for Williams-Nelson. He was looking for a long single or a double, anything in the gaps, maybe down the lines, and now infield's drawn in. They're going to come home on anything on the ground, or at least check the runner at third. That one gets past Hughes. Liam will stay at third. But now Williams-Nelson, he's just looking for anything in the air, in the outfield, something past the infield.
With the backstop here shorter than other ballparks, you know, was a wise decision to not send Liam home there. Don't want to run into an out and cost yourself a run.
The whole infield will join this conversation as the bullpen stirs for the Hoppers. Yeah, we always talk about how big foul ground is here at Jimmy John's Field, but behind home plate is where it's smallest, other than all the way down by the foul poles in the outfield. So I'd say you have probably 40, 50 feet of room right behind home plate for if you're the catcher, as opposed to 200, 300 feet, you know, by the bases going towards the dugouts on either side. So you're right, Alex, that ball can ricochet and get back to the catcher pretty quickly. They don't have to go too far to get it. And another thing to think about is that wall directly behind home plate faces the field square. It doesn't bend at all, so the ball doesn't take any unusual bounces for the most part. It stays pretty true and dies on those pads back there right behind the plate.
Yeah, it's not like on an odd angle or...
It doesn't curve at all, you know, yeah.
There's not like a walkway right behind it like you see it. No, it's a Major League ballpark, so like the umpires go through when they leave or...
Williams-Nelson fouls a few back. It's 2-2. The tying run 90 feet away with only 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Swings right on the ground to third, done. Picks it up. They're going to go to try to get Liam. Nelson is safe at first. He's going to rumble to second. Liam's in a rundown. It goes to Pup. Liam falls down. He's out. Williams-Nelson will work back to second base, and he's out. They got him. What a play. Bryant Schellenberger came in all the way from right field. Williams-Nelson had no idea he was there, and they double off the Mammoths.
Unbelievable, Brendan.
Now stay with me here. That putout goes 5-2. I believe Pup came over, so it goes 5-2, 6-9 on the double play. Unbelievable. Williams-Nelson and the Mammoths get doubled off on a ground ball to the third baseman, and it's still 2-1 as we head to the 7th.
Yes, that's an incredible play by the Hoppers. How they got out of it, you know. Thought maybe we get the 1 out. No, with Liam, he was running up third base. You know, you would think maybe just 2 outs and Williams-Nelson over at second, but to get doubled off like that, just unfortunate for the Mammoths. But it's a momentum swinger now heading into the latter part of this ball game.
2-1. Hoppers lead the Mammoths. We'll be back after this.
Throughout your life, from big moments to ones well earned, we're your financial guardian angel. Alliance Catholic Credit Union.
Back here on the U.S. PBL Network, 2-1 Hoppers. And Alex, I can't get over writing in my scorecard 5-2-6-9 for the double play to end the Mammoths' 6th inning. That's just unbelievable.
Yeah, looking at it here, Liam was just thinking he was, it was just a tough play. He was being out there. Then what a heads-up play over there. Look, that was done. I think. Able to read over at second base. See, Nelson was leaning over at second, went a little bit too far.
I mean, just the heads up from Bryant Schellenbarger. The infield for the Hoppers did their job. They all came in and got in on the pickle on what was the game-tying run. You have to get Fox Liam out at third once that ball is grounded to third base and he's caught off the bag. If Liam dove back, it's one thing. Dunn would have had a decision to make. Chandler Dunn did the right thing. He held the ball, made sure they got Liam in a rundown, and they executed it successfully. They got him out while the rest of the infield was shifting to get behind home and third and get in on that pickle to make sure they got Liam out. Williams Nelson got a little aggressive on the base paths. He immediately took off for second once he realized that was going to be a pickle. He was going to be in scoring position in his mind, and he rounded second a little too far. He thought he might have a chance to sneak to third. Bryant Schellenbarger saw that. He came all the way in from right field and snuck behind the bag at second base. Williams Nelson didn't know he was there. Pup obviously saw Schellenbarger and fired a stripe back to the second base bag, and Williams Nelson was out. It was just an unbelievable play.
Yeah, it was just grounded right over the third. Liam, well, maybe thought he maybe had to go, could stayed back at third. It's not like you were forced to go home, but just Williams Nelson thought he could a little bit. He thought he was able to get second for sure. Maybe sneak in third. Try to be a little greedy, but good heads-up play by the Hoppers, and that's just a game changer here right now. And what could have potentially been another chance for the Mammoths with a runner on second and 2 outs.
Yep.
But
yeah, if you're Williams Nelson, he's got enough speed that if he stays on second, the next at bat he can score on any base hit most likely. But he tried to take that extra base and get to third, be in a spot to tie the game, and instead they're going to have to find and try to manufacture that run somewhere else. Joey Califoot struck out on a 1-2 to start this inning, so there is nobody on and 1 out for Anthony Flores, who is behind 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And Flores 0 for 2 as well with a strikeout and a flyout.
It's a 1 bouncer to Colby Seltzer at short. Livingston Morris stretches. He's pulled off the bag, and Flores is safe. Flores has enough speed. That was going to be a close play no matter what, and the throw just pulled Morris a little bit. He tried to reach back and tag Flores in time. He did not, so now 1 on and 1 out for Alex Pup.
Yeah, Seltzer had to move back a little bit to make the play, and Morris was thrown off the bag. And like you mentioned, Flores, despite being the 6th spot in the lineup, does have speed and able to beat out the throw and force Morris to step off the bag. And what could have been just a routine ground out, 6-3 instead, it goes down as an infield single.
Pup showed bunt and pulled it back for strike 1. See if he shows again here. Not too many guys bunt in this league. Flores fakes like he's going to go. Pup nubs it foul to the right side.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of that small ball play, no sacrifice bunts. It's kind of died down. You won't see it a lot in the league, but try to keep the pitchers, the defense off balance and catch them off guard if you can do that.
The 0-2. Combs back pick to first. Flores is in standing up. Pitch was outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Alex Pup.
Alex Pup, another guy with veteran experience, being in this league. last season.
Flores fakes like he's going to go. Pup lifts one to the gap. That drops in front of Dixon. Good read by Anthony Flores, too. He slowly went over to second base as that ball slowly fell in the gap in left center, and Dixon could do nothing but watch it. Flores could have been in a tough spot there. We've seen Dixon make some diving plays galore out in center field, and instead it's just a little bloop single for Alex Pup. 2 on and 1 out for Chandler Dunn.
Yeah, he didn't have to fully sprint. He made the wise choice just to like jog to see if that was going to be caught or dropped, but no, he didn't have to worry about if it would have been caught. Had to hustle back quickly, with the arm that Dixon has. And just another heads-up play, and now you've got runners on first and second here with 1 out, and a chance to pull away here if you can.
And that will be the day for Chase Gearing, a pretty good one. He conceded 1 home run, a couple of hits, but back-to-back hits here in the 7th. Would have been a lot more work for him to get out of it. So Taylor Jellikowski goes to his bullpen. We'll have the pitching change for you when we come back on the USPBL Network.
Jimmy John's Field is the perfect venue for birthday parties, summer picnics, company outings, and provides the best entertainment in Metro Detroit with great baseball all summer long. Spend your summer nights under the lights at Jimmy John's Field in historic downtown Utica.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Cal Coughlin, the 25-year-old native of Evanston, Illinois, takes over in the 7th inning. Here at Jimmy John's Field, his team trailing by a run, and the Hoppers threatening. They've got a man on second and a man on first, and only 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
Cal Coughlin, he's a guy that has done really well since coming into the USPBL. He's a guy who played at TCU, in the Big 12 Conference, making his 4th appearance on the season. 5 innings of work so far, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, a 1.80 ERA, and the opposing batting average of .211. Pretty solid numbers. And went 2 innings, the last 2 innings of the game on last Saturday against the Beavers. That was in game 2 of their doubleheader. Coming out through his time at TCU, had a good solid career. It was 2017, 2018, where he had ERA of under 2. Another Division I talent coming in for Coach Jellikowski's squad and trying to get out of this jam right now with 2 on and 1 out.
Chandler Dunn digs in. He's 0 for 2 today with a pair of ground outs. First pitch misses outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Coughlin, sinker, slider, changeup, 4-seam, and split changeup. 1-0. Pounded foul, 1 ball, 1 strike. Relies on that sinker a lot. That sinker has a lot of movement into a righty, and Chandler Dunn in this case, and obviously away from a lefty. Talked to Joe Burke after Coughlin made his debut a couple weeks ago. This is just his 4th appearance since joining the league. Only 5 innings so far this year for Coughlin. And Burke said that the stuff that he has is good stuff. That's a nice, tight slider, 2 good fastballs, and the changeup as well.
Yeah, he brings a lot to the table, and I can imagine he's going to be something special here in this league. And
swing and a miss. Slider under the zone. Got done out swinging early. And Coughlin steps on and quickly gets a big second out in the inning, his first strikeout of the night.
Yeah, sent him downstairs on that pitch in the low part of the zone and able to get done to chase on it and whiff. Brings up the number 9 hitter who's had a good day.
Hughes with his first pro home run today. Struck out in the other at bat. Swings through the slider there, no balls and a strike. It was a solo shot to left field, the second home run of the day for the Hoppers. They've only got 5 hits today, but 2 big ones. A bomb from Marcoux and a bomb from Hughes. That's the difference in the game.
Just those 2 home runs have been the crucial story, for the Hoppers, but if he can come through here, get at least 1.
Swing and a miss. That slider is looking good right now for Cal Coughlin. He is working that thing to Hughes.
Yeah, it's been his specialty so far, and the Hoppers haven't gotten anything on that one. We'll see if he goes back to that one here or mixes it up here.
2 on, 2 out. Hoppers with a 1-run lead. The 1-2 to Hughes. Lifts it right side. Getting under it is Mills for the 3rd out. Hoppers scare a little bit in the 7th, but Cal Coughlin comes on and gets the Mammoths out of it. They've threatened on their side of the offense. Can they do it again in the bottom of the 7th? We'll find out here on the USPBL Network. 7th inning stretch time. Take me out to the ball game. Brought to you, as always, by Genesis Credit Union.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
Hoppers leading 2-1 right now over these Mammoths. Danny Sullivan takes over on the mound for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. These Mammoths have had their share of opportunities.
And they had, and that last inning was just a little, that's something that they were really working for. Just kind of that ending double play. With Liam on 3rd and then Williams Nelson grounded at 1-2 third, able to get Liam out at 3rd, and Williams Nelson went a little too far going past second base to get out on that double play, and it's going down here. And going back to Sullivan here.
Making his 3rd appearance in the league, a 4.50 ERA. Just 4 innings so far, both appearances in relief. A newer arm to the league.
6'5", right-hander, 190, coming from Mullica Hill, New Jersey. Came from an NAIA school in the University of Antelope Valley.
Antelope Valley. That's an interesting name. Do they have a lot of antelopes there? Is that what that is?
Oh.
You would imagine,
to stand out, yeah.
It'd be interesting if they had a different animal. A lot of deers, and they call it Antelope Valley.
Facing Alex Garbasic.
Grounds 1 to 3rd. Dunn off his back foot fires a 1-hopper perfect throw to Joe Burke to get a good runner in Alex Garbasic, 1 up and 1 down.
Our basic, another NAIA product coming from Madonna in Livonia. Some time there. And a key addition to the Mammoths. There's been a lot of NAIA talent throughout the league, and we've seen a lot from Georgia Gwinnett, some of the local talent here. So a lot of guys are making their names known here and showcasing what they have. And
Combs takes a strike. For Sullivan, it's a four-seam fastball, slider, curveball, and splitter. 4 pitches for him. 0-1. This is a high chopper to short. Pup has to jump and throws out Combs at first.
It was up in the air for a long time. Just hopped right into Pup. Knew he had time to throw it over and didn't have to make an errant throw with the speed of Combs, and want to be able to keep the score where it's at and not give him a free base. So
Colby Seltzer now digs in, had a double his last time up. That one squirts away from Hughes. 1 ball, no strikes. Seltzer maybe hoping that double can knock him on the right track. It's been a struggle at the plate for him this season. 3 for 38 coming into today.
Yeah, just only that one extra base hit coming into tonight, and slugging only 184, and on base just 255.
1-1 on the ground. Pup ranging to his left, spinning, throwing. A couple nice plays from Alex Pup in the bottom of the 7th. 1, 2, 3 go the Mammoths. They still trail by a run. Hoppers batting in the 8th when we come back.
Why are all these business owners smiling? Because they rely on Tryon to handle difficult and time-consuming HR tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and more. Working with one of the nation's top professional employer organizations provides access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans and Tryon's team of attorneys and HR experts. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
Cal Coughlin still out there for a second inning of work for the Mammoths. Right now, the Hoppers, 2 runs on 5 hits. No errors. They've left 4 on base. The Mammoths, 1 run on 6 hits, no errors. They've stranded 5 runners out there. It's been a pretty even game so far. The difference is the Mammoths have had runners in scoring position, haven't been able to bring them around. The Hoppers had that exciting 5-2-6-9 double play a couple innings ago. And then for the Hoppers offensively, they've hit the long bomb tonight. 2 home runs so far. That's the difference in this game.
Yeah, we've been praising about the Mammoths. They've been being disciplined and making changes offensively, but haven't been able to come through with the huge hit, with runners in scoring position, runners on, and going back to that 6th inning alone, that double play that could have changed the complexity of the game on their side, but still got 6 outs to work with, and it's still a 1-run game. The Hoppers have had their chances as well to add on to this lead, but the Mammoths pitching has done their job, besides the 2 long balls, but overall, both teams have been really solid.
Breaking ball bends in for a strike. 1-1 on Luis Acevedo. 0 for 3 tonight. Swings and misses at another breaking ball, 1-2.
Coughlin's been using that a lot. We've talked about his slider that he used a lot in the last inning, coming in with Dunn and Hughes.
Yeah, we haven't seen the sinker, which was a big weapon for him the first time out, especially against righties. We haven't seen that as much. And Coughlin, I think, unaware of the pitch clock, didn't see the zeros, so that's 2-2. Acevedo in perhaps a better spot. And tips it into the glove of Scott Combs for strike 3 on another slider. Strikeout number 2 for Coughlin.
Yeah, good work there by Coughlin. Acevedo, get anything on that one. 0 for 4 for him here tonight. Now you're getting into that deep part of the order for the Hoppers.
Marcoux with a home run already today. Since then, a walk and a pop out. Did have to strain that hamstring a little bit as when he walked, was stretching that double from Burke right behind him to third. And you could see he was slow getting over there. Still in this game, so that's always good news. And in a hitter's count here, 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, just trying to be cautious, take it one step at a time. Trying to get to be fully 100% healthy. Don't want to risk, any injury on that play. And when he was rounding third on that double by Burke back in the 4th.
3 balls, 1 strike, and ball 4. Marcoux takes a pretty easy walk. That's the first for Coughlin. And there's 1 on with 1 out for Joe Burke.
Yeah, I think he's going to stay in the game. Maybe when we want to just be a little cautious on
right.
Gets to run, but
Ryan Kottke exchanging some information with the home plate umpire. Burke is still up. We can't see too well. There's going to be a pinch runner, so they're going to run Marcoux.
Yeah.
Todd Maddox comes on, and that's likely a smart decision from Ryan Kottke.
Yeah, I agree. Just doesn't impact any defensive changes of him being the DH, but just don't want to have a similar situation.
And here in the 8th, it's unlikely Maddox will get an at-bat anyways in this game. And even if he does, Maddox has been good this season for the Hoppers, so Kottke doesn't mind, and certainly just protecting his slugger in Marcoux. Burke swings at that pitch inside. That's strike 2. Not sure if that hit him or not. Either way, just a nasty-looking swing.
Yeah, have to shake that off, come out of the batter's box for a second just to.
That was that sinker tailing in.
Got him.
Now the 0-2. Runner goes grounded to third and past Garbasic. A sure-handed glove at third base, and he just couldn't make the play. It's quickly thrown in by Fox. Liam Burke with his 2nd double of the game. 2 in scoring position with only 1 out.
Yeah, just off of Garbasic and into the outfield. It's unfortunate to glove that up to get the force out at second, but.
And I believe they did go up on the board with a hit. That's a close one.
Yeah.
Thought there was a chance it could have been ruled an error. Now the infield will come in with that runner on third and only 1 out. Schellenbarger swings at the first pitch and fouls it. But it does go up as a hit. 6th hit of the day for the Hoppers. 2nd double for Joe Burke.
If he had full possession on it,
It kind of glanced off his glove. It didn't really hit him in the glove or anything. It would have been a backhand high chop and a long throw for Garbasic. They had a chance at the double play. Maddox faked like he was going to run, actually, but I still think it would have been a close play at second. So no balls and 2 strikes on Schellenbarger. One of the best RBI men in the lineup strikes out here. Coughlin fired up after a big swing and miss. That's a necessary one to get the second out.
Yeah, Schellenbarger disappointed about that one. Saw his reaction with the bat. Just, he knew he wanted that one back, and a golden opportunity to drive in maybe 2.
Califoot still has that same opportunity. He's due 0 for 3 with 2 punch-outs tonight. Takes strike 1.
Looking at it for him, with runners in scoring position. Let's take a look at it here for him, and coming in with runners on, 346, and then with runners in scoring position for Califoot, 4 for 15.
He's behind 0-2. I think that last one might have been tipped into Combs, so he gets an extra breather for a second.
233 as a whole for the Hoppers with runners in scoring position.
Righty on lefty. Califoot waits on the 0-2. Takes the ball low and outside.
It's a good decision by Califoot, to not go after that one.
Coughlin likes the righties better than the lefties. He's only had a couple at bats against left-handed hitters, but they have done their damage. 1-2 misses low and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the lefty Califoot.
Yeah, good stop by Combs at home plate to not let that one go back.
Even since Coughlin has come in this game, the lefties have done the damage. Marcoux had a walk. And now 3-2. Califoot fights back in after falling quickly behind. No balls and 2 strikes. Going to be a challenge pitch here with 2 outs. Burke at second. Todd Maddox pinch running for Marcoux at third. The payoff pitch swung on into the gap in left. Liam going back. That one drops, and he'll pick it up. 2 runs will score. Maddox is in. Burke is in, standing up. Joey Califoot fired up with a big 2-run single here in the 8th to give the Hoppers some insurance. It's 4-1.
Able to stretch that one out with his bat, and Liam unable to make the play on it, and the Hoppers just in control now. All high fives over in the dugout. Pulling away, the deficit now for the Mammoths is 3, but not out of it though yet.
Anthony Flores singled his last time. That was last inning against Chase Gearing, the second to last batter Gearing would face before Coughlin came on in relief. So Flores' first chance to see Cal Coughlin, and that's 2 outside, 2-0. With Califoot, who's got some decent speed over at first. Morris holding Califoot on outfield, and the rest of the infield are straight up. Sinker in for a strike, has Flores backing out of the way, but it's strike 1, 2 balls and 1 strike. Mammoths trying to extend their 6-game win streak tonight.
It's in jeopardy right now, Brendan. And after that 2-out single by Califoot to make it 4-1, 2 runs rather. But I mentioned how they have changed a lot offensively. They've been on the roll. Their pitching has been strong. Their bullpen.
Another sinker has Flores darting out of the way, but it finds the strike zone again. 3-2. That's a scary pitch, just zipping into the righties.
Yeah.
Flores stands pretty close to that plate. Another full count pitch. The runner off, and it's ball 4.
And he goes on, and the Hoppers come through here in the 8th. They're coming off the tough loss last night where they out a 5 spot to start the game and couldn't recover from. You come back here tonight, you get a home run on the second at bat by Noah Marcoux to start the game, and then the Mammoths tie it up, and then you get the lead back, and now up 3 here, and you're forcing a pitching change again by the Mammoths.
So Coughlin is done. Can't get out of the 8th inning. There are 2 down and 2 on for Jonathan Hebb, who will come on. We'll give you more on him after the break. It's a pitching change here on the US PBL Network.
There are many things you can rely on in this world, like a sunny day brightening your mood, your mom baking the world's best apple pie, and never a dull moment in running your business. And when it comes to time-consuming HR tasks, you can rely on Tryon. Tryon can handle payroll and taxes, employee benefits, and more, so you can stay focused on attracting and retaining the best talent. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Jimmy John's Field is the perfect venue for birthday parties, summer picnics, company outings, and provides the best entertainment in Metro Detroit with great baseball all summer long. Spend your summer nights under the lights at Jimmy John's Field in historic downtown Utica.
Jonathan Hebb, a little stressful situation here in the top of the 8th. His team trails 4-1. He's got a runner on second and a runner on first, but 2 outs as he faces Alex Pup in relief of Cal Coughlin. Hebb, the 23-year-old native of Norcross, Georgia, another product of the Georgia Gwinnett to the U.S. PBL pipeline. Was with Gwinnett this last year, was there for 3 seasons, had 2 more years before that at Oglethorpe in Brookhaven, Georgia. Was an all-conference first-team selection this past season. Career high 16 appearances out of the bullpen for Georgia Gwinnett. And he makes his 10th appearance out of the bullpen in the USPBL and starts it off with a strike to Alex Pup.
Looking at here, Brennan, 10 2/3 innings of work, 2-0 record, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 15 strikeouts compared to 2 walks. In the ERA, a little over 3 at 3.38.
And a guy who throws very hard. Four-seam fastball, slider, curveball, changeup for Hebb. Works the four-seam and the slider pretty well off of each other. The four-seam is low to mid-90s. And you talk about the walks and strikeouts, leading the Mammoths in both fewest walks per 9 and most strikeouts per 9. It's 1.7 compared to 12.7. Fantastic numbers for Hebb. Again, it's on smaller sample size numbers, 10.2, but I think once a guy gets over 10 innings, we're starting to learn more and more about really what type of pitcher they are. Gets Pup to chase the high, fastball 2-2 now.
Yeah, when you're able to get some repetition and some experience, coming in every other game or so, and you get to realize what a pitcher's strong suits are, and you see for Hebb and coming in, a strikeout heavy pitcher, with 15-2, and also coming in from a very talented program at Georgia Gwinnett. That helped him a lot. A team that is really heavily known for pitching and all-around talented players, to come out of that organization down there. And
high 2-2, 3 balls and 2 strikes. This is our third full count in this inning. The previous 2 came from Cal Coughlin, and now Jonathan Hebb faces his own full count against Alex Pup. Runners go. Ball 4. Misses low with the fastball. Pup looks like he was taking it all the way, and now the bases are loaded for Chandler Dunn.
And now the Hoppers have a chance to really bust it open with Chandler Dunn, who is 0 for 3 tonight, but a chance here to come through with the bases loaded. Only one at bat for him with the bases loaded.
Fastball up, 1 ball, no strikes.
As a team, 4 of 26 with the bags full.
Swing and a miss. All fastball right now for Jonathan Hab. Haven't seen too much of the off speed yet. Popped foul, out of play though. 1-2 on Chandler Dunn, who's 0 for 3 tonight. He's looking to get on the score sheet somehow. Big spot here to add on even more runs. The Hoppers added on 2 in the beginning of this inning after a strikeout and a walk and a double from Marcoux and Burke. It was a 2-run, 2-out single from Joey Califoot that put them on the board. Strike 3 call. Dunn looks at the fastball in the bottom of the zone. And Jonathan Hab gets out of the 8th without giving up any more. The Mammoths running out of opportunities to get back in this game. They trail 4-1. 6-game win streak on the line.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. fsbcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood because strong neighbors mean stronger communities. Where good neighbors do great things. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Luke Drummond steps on the mound for the Eastside Diamond Hoppers in a big spot, holding a 4-1 lead and trying to hold off the Mammoths, who are down to 6 outs in this game. They've got the top of the order up, Hacklin, Dixon, and Morris here in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, this is an important spot. You got the top of the order due up and a chance to keep this winning streak going, but the Hoppers are trying to spoil it here. Just 6 outs away from ending it. But a guy like Luke Drummond to rely on here to keep the score where it is. Making his 16th appearance on the season. An impressive 2.78 ERA. Was a 2-2 record. He's pitched over 32 innings, Brendan. 38 strikeouts, 17 walks, 10 earned runs. Opposing batting average of 181. He pitched last night, won the game against the Unicorns, and a clean inning of work, no hits allowed, and 1 punch out to his name.
His last 5 appearances have been in relief. He's made 4 starts this year. He gets occasional starts here and there for the Hoppers when they need it on some of the longer weeks where they've got multiple games within a week, including non-publics. You'll see Luke Drummond find his way into the starting lineup. He's been successful in both. First pitch is a fastball up and in toward Hacklin for ball 1. That 32 1/3 innings for Drummond is tied for the most this year with the Hoppers with Ryan Corraldon, who threw 4 innings, so he won't catch up to Corraldon tonight, but those two have been the innings leaders all season long. The 38 strikeouts is the most of anybody on this Hoppers staff as well. 2-1 to Hacklin.
It's been a good piece out of the rotation for manager Kotke, and what he offers here with a 4-seam fastball, a 2-seam slider, curve, and a split changeup. So he has a lot of pitches to use to keep the hitters off balance. And
he does certainly like that 2-seam fastball. We've already seen a little bit in this at-bat to Hacklin. 3-1, he falls behind, and that fastball riding up in the zone misses. And quickly a walk. The leadoff man is on, and that's good news for the Mammoths.
yeah, if they're able to get some runners on, they were able to get at least a couple here. They feel a lot better about themselves if they're down maybe 1 or 2 heading into the 9th. It makes it really difficult in the next inning to try to get it back all at once.
Drummond has given up 1 long bomb this year. Lefties hit better against him than righties do. He'll face Dixon here. After Dixon is Morris, and then behind Morris is back-to-back lefties in Fox Liam and Patrick Mills. Hacklin with a good primary lead at first. Dixon swings and hits a slicing fly ball to left center. Califoot calls off Flores to make the first out.
Yeah, Dixon, 0 for 4 night. Something you wouldn't expect to see from him, but the Hoppers have been able to chase on him. Just it's another pitch that made him skied up in the air to left center, and
now it's Morris's turn. Livingston Morris swings over strike 1. 1 for 2 plus a walk tonight for Livingston. A little bit of everything. Single, walk, and a ground out. Kyle Bischoff on YouTube says, roll Mamos. Kyle Bischoff, the ace for the Mammoths at the start of the year until he was signed by the Minnesota Twins and has pitched with them a couple times in the minor leagues. Hi, Kyle. Good to hear from you.
So a lot of other Mammoths that have joined him with the Twins farm system, with Francis Florentino, Duncan Hewitt.
0-2. Yeah, the Mammoths, we mentioned that saying that's gone around with them, the best team on paper this year. They were at the start of the year, and then they lost some of their really good guys, and then they got some other good guys, and they're still the best team on paper. And now Taylor Jellikowski's just happy that they're the best team in the standings. The 1-2 to Morris, swing and a miss. Got him with the breaking ball, up in the strike zone with the slider, and Morris K's for the first time tonight. That's Drummond's first strikeout, and that's a big second out. Now Fox Liam's turn.
Yeah, 2 for 3 for him. A single and a double, and an opportunity to get Hacklin home to cut the deficit in half.
Back-to-back base hits for Liam in his last 2 plate appearances. Started the day on a strikeout, and since then, that's what you mentioned, Alex, single and a double, and a pop foul out of play here. Home run power for Liam. Has 3 this season, a couple very long home runs as well. And he likes to hit against righties. .343. He's actually yet to get a hit against a left-hander this season. 0 for 6. So Liam is in a spot that he likes right here. And with a man on, one big swing could make this a 1-run game. The 0-1, slider outside.
Yeah, Drummond misplaced it that time, and Liam wasn't going to go after that one, and especially in the situation here.
Liam almost went for that fastball up. You could kind of see his eyes light up from our center field camera as that pitch came in. Instead, it's 2-1 still, and he's in a better count. Drummond looks in, gets the sign from Hughes, comes set, checks the runner and delivers. Liam fouls it again.
Now 2-2, and want to be able to keep this inning going, get base runners on, get the tying run to the plate if you can. You have Patrick Mills next. If you reach base.
Timeout called.
The situation, just look at what the pitch is coming to you, and
Hacklin over at first. Liam digging in on that left side. 2-2 the count. 2 outs here in the 8th. Liam swings and misses. Strike 3. Drummond fired up after that one. Back-to-back strikeouts after a leadoff walk. Dixon flies out, and the Hoppers are out of the inning. We'll head to the 9th. Their last chance to add some offense. It's 4-1. Hoppers lead the Mammoths here from Jimmy John's Field.
Companies are competing for talent like never before. With the complexities of handling tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and other HR functions, it's easy to see how a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions makes all the difference. Tryon empowers businesses of all sizes to attract and retain talent by offering access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
At Ascension, Michigan, we're committed to being your first choice for healthcare. Our nationally recognized heart program is the leader throughout Michigan in minimally invasive heart valve procedures. For joint replacement, spine, and cancer care, patients choose our specialists for advanced care and treatment. And we also excel in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward. Not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
In a moment, Tyler Richley is going to walk back into frame. That moment is right now as he fist bumps Alex Garbasic. Tyler Richley gets the 9th. Jonathan Hab came on in relief in the 8th, and I wonder what Taylor Jellikowski told him. He probably told him, get this guy out, because Jonathan Hab gets 1 out after 1 walk. He got Chandler Dunn out on a strikeout. He's done. Tyler Richley will face 9-1-2 Hughes, Acevedo, and Marcoux, trailing by 3 runs in a big 9th inning here on Friday night.
yeah, very huge for the Mammoths. You know, just keep the score where it's at, and your offense will come out. You know, with their last 3 outs to try to get back into this game and keep this winning streak alive. You know.
1-0, swing and a miss. High fastball. Got Hughes to chase. Already a home run tonight for Whit Hughes, his first professional one. Fan favorite, league favorite, all around good person, Whit Hughes. Happy to see him hit that long bomb. Now 1-2. For Richley, 4-seam fastball, cutter, curveball, sweeper, and a changeup.
Has a lot to bring to the table, and went back to Whit Hughes in that home run that went across that left center field wall on a line drive.
Couple of sliders and a couple of swings and a couple of misses. Strikeout number 1 and out number 1 here in the 9th.
Good start for Richley. Now it turns back to the top of the order for the Hoppers and able to chase him down on that pitch. Acevedo is 0 for 4 tonight. 3 strikeouts.
Acevedo came in hitting the ball pretty well into today. 14 games. Joined the league late. 236 average with a 323 on base. Did have a home run and a few RBIs. Just not his night tonight as he looks at strike 1. A ball and a strike now. Had Marcoux not reached last inning, he would be up next, but he was pinch run for by Todd Maddox. So Todd Maddox is due up, which is good news for Tyler Richley. Means he doesn't have to face a lefty, as he is significantly better against righties than lefties this season.
Yeah, so Maddox would be on deck. Marcoux was pulled out of the game, though, after the walk.
Fouled by Acevedo. We're seeing some lightning in left field. There is rain in the forecast. Both bullpens quiet right now. That means it's likely Luke Drummond again in the 9th inning for the Hoppers. Once we get there, Acevedo base hit to left field keeps the inning alive with only one out as he gets on for the first time today. Much needed one for Luis, and he finds it here.
Yeah, good for him to break out of that. Finding one in the left center field hole between third and short, and always feels good to break out of that. You know, get in the hit column here tonight.
Now Maddox will dig in place of Marcoux. Take strike one this season. Maddox leading the Hoppers in on-base percentage, .369. Has 2 home runs as well. A .775 OPS for the 24-year-old native of Winnsboro, South Carolina. He scored that run last inning off the Joey Califoot single. As we mentioned, pinch running for Marcoux. 1 ball and 2 strikes now.
.232 average for Maddox. A couple of long balls. Was 0 for 3 last night.
Fastball outside, 2-2. After Maddox would be Burke, and then after Burke would be the lefty Schellenbarger. Richley and the Mammoths certainly don't want to let it get that far. Late swing from Maddox, fights off another breaking ball. Foul, 2-2.
Actually has a good pitch coming up here.
2-2, swing and a miss. Fastball low and away, got Maddox to chase, and that's a big second out for Richley.
Absolutely. Gotta get Joe Burke out here.
Richley, who leads the Mammoths in strikeouts per 9 at 12 per 9 innings this season. EOO, Burke checks his swing, and he went around, strike 1. Burke today, 2 for 4. Scored a run that last inning off that Califa double. A pair of doubles for Burke tonight. No balls and a strike. That lightning off in the distance is popping up more and more here in the top of the 9th, and I'm sure everybody involved in this game just wants to get it in before having to stop. You don't want to stop it in the bottom of the 9th with the Mammoths having a chance to come back. You want to just get this game done.
Well, that's not like there's no thunder. Usually you hear thunder and everything, but it just goes straight to lightning.
Yeah.
It's not like it's downpouring or...
No rain at all right now. Acevedo at first, 2 down. The 2-1 to Burke is spiked into the left-handed batter's box to the righty Burke. 3-1.
Just trying to speed this game up, you know, don't want, well, with the lightning that's going on right now, and you just got to be really careful, you know,
3-1 Burke. It's a high pop-up, way up there. Seltzer calling everybody off, makes the grab, and that's 3 outs. It's a 3-run lead for the Hoppers. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Mammoths, last chance to get back in this ballgame. They trail it 4-1 here on the US PBL Network.
Jimmy John's Field is the perfect venue for birthday parties, summer picnics, company outings, and provides the best entertainment in Metro Detroit with great baseball all summer long. Spend your summer nights under the lights at Jimmy John's Field in historic downtown Utica.
It's all up to Patrick Mills, Dre Williams-Nelson, and Alex Garbasic to spark a rally for the Mammoths and keep this 6-game win streak alive here in the bottom of the 9th against the righty Luke Drummond. Mills swings and misses at the first pitch. Lefty, righty, righty, barring any substitutions for Taylor Jellikowski. He has 2 righties on the bench, Jordan Hussein, who's an infielder, and catcher Zach Beadle. Not sure if we'll see either of those guys. It's possible here.
It just depends if they get guys on base. And
well, Drummond with a good start. 3 pitches and his 3rd straight strikeout as Mills goes down, and there's just 2 outs left for the Mammoths. Dre Williams-Nelson will dig in. 0 for 3 today. A trio of, I guess you can call it ground outs, 6-3, 5-3, and then he is the one who grounded into the 5-2-6-9 wild 6th inning ending double play.
Yeah, that was just a crazy play, something you don't see a lot. No, I haven't seen that before.
This one into left, and Califoot was shaded towards the gap. That is a good swing for Dre Williams-Nelson, and Joey Califoot was just a few steps away from the landing spot. All comes down to Alex Garbasic now.
Yeah, down to the final out.
First pitch to Garbasic. Curveball in for a strike. Check swing. Did he go? Appeal to first. Did not. And the 1-1. Swing and lined out to right. That will drop for extra bases. This one gets to the warning track. Schellenbarger slides and he misplayed it. Garbasic rounding the bag at second. He'll go for 3. Schellenbarger launches it back in all the way to third. It goes on a couple hops to Chandler Dunn. Alex Garbasic won't let the Mammoths quit. He keeps them alive with a 2-out triple here in the 9th.
Yeah, good play by Garbasic. And down the right field line, Schellenbarger was sliding forward and misplayed it. Went back near the corner, which allowed Garbasic to go all the way to third, and now it's not over yet. You get a run here, bring the tying run to the plate if you can.
Scott Combs, who is 0 for 3 with a strikeout, digs in. First pitch swinging. Hits this one to center field. Flores going back. That one is misplayed as well. That's a ground rule double. And the Mammoths get a run on the board thanks to Scott Combs. 2 swings, and the Mammoths have the tying run at home plate.
What a play by Combs to dead center field. Flores able to track it down. It bounced and it touched off that padding, which would have caused it to be a ground rule double. But like I said, now you got the tying run at the plate with Kobe Seltzer.
Seltzer 1 for 3 tonight. Takes a pitch outside for ball 1. He did have his first home run of the season just a couple games ago for the Mammoths. Now facing a 1-0. Swings, hits a fly ball left field. That ball is up. It's gone! Colby Seltzer ties it. A sub-100 hitter with 2 home runs in the week ties it at 4 in the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs.
What a rally by the Mammoths. Colby Seltzer handing it down the left field line and gone. And the Mammoths are fired up. You would think, you know, the Hoppers had it all done. But not so fast, says the Mammoths. A 2-out rally. They'll start it off with the triple by Garbasic, then the ground rule double, and now Seltzer tying it up. Trying to force extras.
Wow, that is unbelievable from Colby Seltzer. Hacklin takes a first pitch strike. Drummond has to just quickly get back in there with this pitch clock. He's just got to start throwing strikes again, and he does. Now we're staring extra innings in the face. We're a strike away. The 0-2 to Hacklin. Misses inside. Ward Hacklin this season, he has a home run. One more swing could end this ball game. The 1-2. Inside, defense went towards the dugout. They thought it was strike 3. It's not. It's 2-2. So strikeout, fly out, down to their last out. The Mammoths measly go triple-double home run to tie the game. Hacklin swings and misses at strike 3, and we are going to extras. Improbable 6-game win streak on the line for the Mammoths. It'll be decided after the coin flip. We'll bring you the result after this right here on the US PBL Network. So, down to their last out, the Mammoths get a triple from Alex Garbasic on a misplay. It would have been a hit anyways. It would have been a double. But a misplay from Bryant Schellenbarger and right sends Alex Garbasic to third. Scott Combs immediately follows that up on the next pitch with a ground rule double to center field. And then Colby Seltzer, 2 pitches later, hits a game-tying 2-out, 2-run home run to push us into the extra innings. 4 pitches is all it took for the Mammoths to put up 3 runs and tie this game in the 9th. The coin toss, the visiting Hoppers had the choice. They lost. The Mammoths won the toss, and they elected offense. So the Mammoths will start with a ghost runner on first. It'll be the last out of the last time they batted, which was just a moment ago. So it's Ward Hacklin, who struck out to Luke Drummond. He's the extra inning runner. And now Dixon, Morris, and Liam are due up. Hoppers have to record 3 outs. If the Mammoths get a run across, they win. If the Hoppers record 3 outs with nobody scoring, they win. Remember, the Mammoths have won their last 6 straight games. Extra innings have been Taylor Jellikowski's kryptonite for 2 years now. Can he right the ship and get a win here in the extras here on our Friday night spectacular? Fireworks after the game. They'll have to wait a little bit, Alex.
Yeah, no, the Mammoths just let that 2-out rally just not so fast. We're not going to just end our winning streak like that. And now, Drummond has to come back out on the mound thinking,
That's where I think Taylor Jellikowski's mind went. Most managers, I think, would, in an average situation, elect to play the field and just try to get 3 outs. As Dixon lifts 1 foul, it's going to be a long run for Chandler. Done. He won't get there. In an average situation, I think most managers, this is just like a walk, a leadoff base hit. That's all it is. Would elect to try to get 3 outs. But Taylor Jellikowski knows Luke Drummond just gave up 3 runs in 4 pitches after he was staring his 3rd save of the year right in the face. And now he's got to go out and get 3 more outs. That's a tough turnaround for Drummond.
And all he needed was just 1 more out. He got Mills to strike out, and then
Hacklund goes. The throw down to second is wide. Saved by Acevedo from going into center field. Now the winning run is in scoring position.
Just a base hit with Hacklund's speed could win it.
And Dixon is a prime candidate for a base hit. 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts tonight. Guy hitting .345 will not go 5 straight plate appearances without a hit very often. He looks at strike 2, though. That's been the problem for Dixon all night long, is falling behind in the count. Only 1 of his outs has come while he's been ahead in the count. That was that pop out back in the 3rd inning on a 2-1. Chance to make up for it here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Winning run in scoring position and a swing and a miss. Luke Drummond, big fastball up in the zone. Got Dixon to chase. That's the 5th strikeout for Drummond since he came on to start the 8th inning. And now 2 outs left for the Mammoths.
Yeah, just a tip on the glove for strike 3 for Dixon, and it was tough, but Hacklund's at second now after that steal. And
so Ryan Kotke, who is no stranger to the intentional walk in extra innings, will walk Livingston Morris. Kotke found himself in a runner on 3rd and 1 out situation in extra innings last week against the Unicorns. He decided to walk the bases loaded to focus on the matchups. So he walks Livingston Morris here. I think this is to put the force out on, because Luke Drummond is way better against righties than lefties. Now the lefty Fox Liam digs in, but a ground ball could end the game. Liam takes a strike on the outside edge for strike 1.
Yeah, the Hoppers are banking on a double play right here with Liam. You expect him to hit right near Acevedo or Burke, but we'll see if they get Liam to hit the opposite way. But it's all about strategy here, in this situation where you don't get a chance, for the Hoppers to come back to tie it up, or a chance.
1-1 swing and a miss, strike 2. 89 miles an hour. Drummond reared back and fired that one. He needs a ground ball right here. The Mammoths, decent candidates to ground into a double play. 2nd in the league this year in that category. Now 2-2. Liam himself has not grounded into a double play all season long. The 2-2. Got him looking, strike 3. Inside on the plate. Liam's going to argue that call. The Mammoths are down to their last out. 6 punches for Luke Drummond.
Yeah, Liam thought that was inside, and I think it might have been, but the home plate umpire thought it hit the inside corner. But
how about this big spot for the rookie Patrick Mills in just his 2nd USPBL game? Already has a hit. That was in his first at-bat, a double back in the 2nd inning. Since then, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Chance to win the game here with a base hit. 1 ball, no strikes Hacklin at second. He's the only run that matters. Livingston Morris is over at first. Mills takes outside 2-0. The fastball right around high 80s. Drummond throwing both 4 and 2 seam. Needs to find the strike zone here. 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch. Outside 3-0. Has to come in the zone. Does Mills have the green light on the 3-0? You'd have to imagine they need to put the ball in play to get the winning run around. Mills is a good hitter. The 3-0 swings and pops it up. Foul out of play. Now 3-1.
Well, you'll take that if you're Mills instead of just skying it up to the infield. But
tensions rising here at Jimmy John's Field. We've had a fun one tonight. A 3-run, 2-out, 9th inning rally for the Mammoths. Can they win it in 10? The 3-1 in there for a strike, 3-2. Mills taking all the way, and now another full count.
The nerves are rising here.
Hacklin at second represents the winning run. The payoff pitch. Runners go. Swing and a miss! Luke Drummond wins it in extras. It took 4 pitches against that man for the Mammoths to put up 3 runs and tie it in the 9th, and he follows it up with pressure mounting in the 10th with 3 strikeouts recorded, 5, 6, and 7, and ends the game, the Hoppers, with the win.
What a roller coaster for the Hoppers. And just what a win. No, the Mammoths rally with 2 outs to tie the game in the bottom of the 9th. But unfortunately, unable to keep the winning streak alive, the Hoppers come in and spoil it and winning in sudden death.
4-4 our final. The Hoppers get the extra inning sudden death win. Even though the score reads 4-4, they win this game. They move to 14-15 on the year. The Mammoths fall to 16-13, still in first place here in the USPBL. Our game recap here on the USPBL Network. Noah Marcoux got things started in the first inning. Our second at bat of the game was a home run to right field, his first of the season, nearly 400 feet. That was against Nathan Witt, who threw 2 really good innings. After that, he recorded 5 straight outs, including 3 strikeouts in the second inning. The Hoppers wouldn't get a hit again until the 4th. They wouldn't get a run again until the 5th, when Whit Hughes hit a solo shot, his first professionally, first of this season or last season, to make it a 2-1 ball game. The Hoppers would tack on 2 runs that were insurance in the 8th and looked like they might be winners. Joey Califoot hit a 2-out, 3-2, 2-run single to score Todd Maddox and Joe Burke in the 8th to make it 4-1. The only run from the Mammoths at that point had come from Ward Hacklin, who walked in the 3rd and scored on a Fox Liam single. And then in the bottom of the 9th, down to their last out, Alex Garbasic hit a triple, followed by a ground rule double from Scott Combs and Colby Seltzer, who came into today hitting .079, 3 for 38. He had a double in the 5th and a home run in the bottom of the 9th to tie the game at 4 apiece and push it into extras. Despite the loss for the Mammoths, Alex, you have to give them credit for the valiant. It took them 4 pitches to put up 3 runs down to their last out in the 9th and get back in this game.
Yeah, you like the effort. You like the run that the Mammoths did. Played all the way to the end. Didn't just give up after, getting retired of the first 2 in the 9th, but they rallied through it. But unfortunately, the Hoppers came in, in the sudden death inning and slammed the door. And it's just a tough loss after you come back to rally and then just to lose like that. It's just heartbreaking for the Mammoths. The winning streak unfortunately comes to an end. But hey, still in first place at the end of the night, and they'll have a chance to bounce back on Sunday.
Today was all about the bounce back for a lot of these particular guys. We started early with Nathan Witt. Gives up the home run to Noah Marcoux, bounces back in the second inning, striking out the side. We talk about Colby Seltzer, who has been just really struggled all year long, bounces back in the last 3 games for the Mammoths with 2 home runs. He's now got 5 hits on the season. Started with 0 a couple of weeks ago. He's bounced back, and they come back in the 9th. And then Luke Drummond bounces back after giving up 3 runs in 4 pitches to tie things in the 9th. Strikeout to Burl Dixon, the best hitter in the league. Intentional walk to Livingston Morris, strikeout to Liam, strikeout to Mills. He essentially struck out the side to end the game in extras. Really impressive performance from Luke Drummond. He comes on in the 8th, gives up 3 hits. Beyond that, 1 walk, 1 intentional walk, and 7 strikeouts for his 3rd save of the year.
Yeah, good work by Drummond. Having to come in, he was just had to come back down, then had to come right back out after allowing those 3 runs, and able to come through like that and not let it get past him, but able to give the Hoppers the win. And it was a wild one, but the Hoppers able to get the victory, and we'll see how these 2 teams rematch on Sunday afternoon. It's going to be a fun one.
It absolutely was fun tonight. We had fun up here in the broadcast booth and at Jimmy John's Field. We hope you had fun watching on Facebook, YouTube, and My Michigan TV. We've got more for you tomorrow here on the US PBL Network. It's the Unicorns and the Beavers coming up at 7:05. And then on Sunday, as Alex mentioned again, it's the Mammoths and the Hoppers. For my partner, Alex Johnson, I'm Brennan Shabath. Hoppers win this one in sudden death, exciting fashion, 4-4. They don't allow a run in our extra inning sudden death 10th inning. We will see you tomorrow here on the US PBL Network.
Eastside, we're the Diamond Hoppers. Ain't too many of the teams can defeat us. You on the sideline warming up the benches. Need a lesson? I can show you, I can teach ya. You see a Diamond Hopper fan, point 'em out. Ay,